Dale Not Dale Podcast.
What up, Bonnie?
What up?
I'm excited about today.
Dude, I'm excited about today, too. Very excited about today. You want to tell them?
You tell them.
Live in studio. Hard guest to get, by the way.
It's been tough.
I feel like he's just been busy. Possibly.
He has been.
I think he has.
The kid's been blowing up.
Live in the studio today, we have the one, the only American Idol finalist.
Not finalist.
Almost finalist. He's a finalist in my eyes. Yeah, that's all that matters.
He won to me.
The one and only Trey From the Fe.
Trey From the Fe. Actually, this was your idea for a guest.
It was.
And I hit him up with the power of the blue check, and he got him on.
You did.
Yeah, Trey From the Fe, baby.
I'm excited.
He's close. He's like 15, 20 minutes from here.
Yep.
He made it on American Idol. Got a crazy, touching story that's pretty tragic. That it's just a lot for somebody to go through.
Yep.
And I think he got cut at the round of when they went to the round of 24.
Yeah.
He got cut right there. And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about his journey, talk about his background, talk about the craziness that happened in Santa Fe, a very tragic situation back in 2019, 18.
Was it 2018? 2019.
2019.
Yeah.
And so, so we're going to have him on. We were pumped up in studio. So we're not sure what to expect, man. This kid, he's got a lot that's happened to him over the last few months.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we got him in here.
Me too. And right when he sits down, I got to let him know, we're back.
I thought you were going to miss it.
Dude, never.
I thought you missed it.
Nope.
So we got Trey From the Fe in, man.
Trey From the Fe. Excited about that. On top of that,
Mm-hmm.
we're having a We're Back shirt made.
We're back shirt.
We're back.
It should be out by now.
It should be out. Yeah, it's going to be out by now.
If you're hearing this, you should have ordered your We're Back shirt.
Absolutely. And we dropped the prices too.
And if you send us a voice memo email to our info@dalenotdalepodcast.com, we will give you a discount on the shirt.
Or Dale Not Dale podcast instead of Padcast.
No, it's a trick. It's nowhere.
What's the voice?
They gotta do their best We're Back impression.
Dude, you just made that up off the top of your head?
Yes.
Oh, that was phenomenal. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yes.
That's a good idea.
If you can send your best We're Back impression
Voice memo to
info at Dale Not Dale podcast, the winner
.com.
Yeah, .com. The winner will be chosen to get a free
We're Back shirt.
We're Back shirt.
Okay.
Sponsored by our good friends at Good Ranchers.
Good Ranchers. Dude, that's a good segue.
Dude, that was good.
This has been good.
This has been really flawless.
Trey From the Fe's got me all amped up.
He's got me amped up too.
So yeah, Good Ranchers, they have these guys are a show presenter. They're awesome. We're so pumped into the month. We're going to the Indy 500 with them guys. Cool thing also, their driver that they sponsor just won a big race.
I did see that.
So that's cool. Make sure you use Good Rancher. Go to goodrancher.com. Use our code DNDPod, and right now you get $30 off.
$30
They
off?
just amped it up another $10, so it's
Yep.
$30 off at goodranchers.com. DNDPod is our code. Take advantage of that on top of everything else they got going on. But man, you get some great meat. They got great seafood, got great chicken. I cooked some ribeyes last night that were freaking to die for, man. The kids even loved them. Like that's my favorite cut of meat from them. I'm usually not a big ribeye guy, but being that I have these Good Rancher steaks that are really good cuts, man, they're so big.
They are good.
They're bone in, which is cool.
Yep.
So
They're not chewy.
No, man, they're great steaks.
You boil your steaks too, so
I did.
that probably helps.
And they're good.
I know.
I sent a picture of Ben last night. He was like, "Let's go." because I was like, look what I cooked last night. So, friends Ben, Jermaine over at goodranch.com, they've been taking care of us, man. So, shout out to our show presenter. Go to
goodranchers.com and use the code DNDpod for 30% off. $30 off.
Jesus, dude. $30. $30 hairs off.
$30 is more than 30%.
Yes. So make sure to take advantage of that. Use our code. It really helps us out. It helps show love to our podcast by helping out and going to our sponsors. But you will not be disappointed in this. This is something that everybody can use. Great meat. You can beat the the junk you get at the stores.
Yep.
You're getting great meat coming from U.S. ranches. Doesn't have the mRNA vaccines that they preach against, that they don't allow in their cattle. So it's good stuff, man. And you can find out, where it's coming from, locally sourced within the U.S. So make sure. And then on top of that, our other sponsor we'll talk about real quick is True Wild.
True Wild. By the way, I just want to just let everybody know that Good Ranchers is actually, they're on the move.
That's a good one.
That was a good one.
So,
okay, back to True Wild.
Back to True Wild. True Wild's our new sponsor. We talked about them last week.
Yep.
We just signed these guys on. Great supplements without all the extra BS. Like I said, man, this is stuff that I use. I started taking the adaptogens. I've started taking the there's one other pill, the beet, the nitric oxide one.
Well, if you wouldn't have brought it up, I would have known.
Yeah, I know.
Adaptogens, and then there was another one.
Yeah.
Anyway, who cares what it's called? Talk about it.
No, it's good stuff. Like I said, it's. I've been taking this on top of the hydrate and the motion. The hydration, drink that during the day. I take the motion before I work out. That's their pre-workout, which has got natural caffeine in it, so it doesn't have stuff that makes you crash. That's the biggest thing about it. Like I can't. Me and Zach. So one of the owners, Zach, me and him first talked when we were talking about this. I was like, dude, I can't take pre-workouts because I work out in the afternoons. When I take pre-workouts, I can't sleep at night.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, I'm telling you, my stuff doesn't have the stuff that's going to, like the caffeine, extra caffeine that's going to keep you up all night. You can work out, boom, go to bed. And I told you, I said, hey, I'll try it. If it does, I'll tell you. If it doesn't, I won't,
Yeah.
Did it, don't have that crash, and I can sleep at night. So I was like, I'm a believer. I mean, that is no bullshit. Like,
yeah.
That's a big thing because I like to get an amp workout in with a little extra push. But if I can't sleep at night, it does no good. This stuff, I can do it.
This past weekend was hot at the baseball field, so I loaded my child up with a hydrate drink.
Yeah.
He thought it was phenomenal.
Dude.
And I love the word phenomenal.
You use the word phenomenal a lot.
Dude, I do.
Yeah.
Some people say dude. Some people say phenomenal. I say dude and phenomenal a lot because I like it.
So we got a fun episode coming, man. We got Trey from the Fe, fresh off the American Idol. I'm hoping we can talk everything about American Idol. I don't think he's going to have any NDAs. I'm hoping. But hopefully he can talk about everything. We can air it out.
I don't have an NDA to talk
I don't either.
about.
I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll bring it up.
We'll bring it up.
We're not scared.
And if he doesn't want to talk about it, then we'll
just move on.
We'll just talk about it.
So we got Trey in, man. I'm excited for him to finally get in. We had some scheduling thing came up last time. We couldn't get him, and he's supporting his friends that are currently in American Idol. So I know he wanted to be a part of that a while back. But today is the day we got Trey from the Fe.
Yeah, that was
pretty good.
Pretty good.
Like 16 bars.
You're a poet.
Didn't even know it.
Yeah, you didn't show it.
Didn't show it. So, we've got Trey in. Make sure to check out our sponsors, Good Ranchers at goodranchers.com, True Wild at truewild.com. Same discount code. We're making it easy for you guys. D&D Pod gets you $30 off at goodranchers.com, and D&D Pod gets you 20% off at truewild.com.
That's going to be the hard part for me is remembering which ones are which.
Dude, we're going to mix them up.
And they're all going to be D&D pod.
That's it.
So we're going to have them for every episode or for every sponsor from now on. We're just going to say, look, it's got to be D&D pod and it has to be 20% off or 30% off. Like with that, I'm sorry. I mean, that's what it is. We normally give you 5. It doesn't matter.
It's the parameters we set.
Yeah.
We're making it easy for us.
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, let's get this started, man. I'm ready to get Trey in here. He should be showing up any minute.
All right, let's do it.
Uncle Dale and Vaughn with stories to unfold. So sit back, relax, and behold. We discussing life and all its ups and downs. Tune in from your side of town. Talking pop cultures, movies, and TV shows. Giving the thoughts and much more. This shit is style, clothes, and gadgets galore. Keeping you entertained, you'll be begging for more. Cause we gon' laugh and hey, maybe even crying. But one thing's for sure, you'll be smiling. Cause Uncle Dale and Vaughn are at your side. So come along, join, and let's ride.
They bring the heat, and the guests are supreme. They ain't just a duo, they the dream team.
All right. We are recording. We got a special guest in.
We do.
Mr. Trey from the Fe.
How's it going, everybody?
I'm so excited you're here.
Not the other Trey Lewis.
Not the other Trey Lewis. Can you tell us about the other Trey Lewis?
Yeah, so the other Trey Lewis is he's the one that sings "Dick Down in Dallas."
Great song.
It's a good song, yeah, and he's a big supporter of mine. He supported me when my audition came out, but people kept messaging him messages that were supposed to go to me.
He's LEWIS. You're LOUS.
Yes. So I just tell people like St. Louis.
There you go. Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, it's a family name. The full name is Robert Louis Limley III. My father was Robert Louis Limley Jr. and my dad was Bobby Limley, or his father was. So the 3 is why I go by Trey.
Okay.
Okay.
That's how most guys I know, Trey, they were the 3rd. That's how they...
Yeah, exactly. So Trey's not even on my birth certificate or anything. I've been called Trey my entire life.
You should change it to Trey from the Fe.
Yeah. Just
legally.
I will.
We can help with that.
Okay.
We're ordained ministers. We can maybe do that. I don't know.
I got a feeling. I don't know if it's...
Does it take a minister to change your name?
I don't know.
Okay.
We can do all kind of stuff.
Cool.
Put it this way. What's the worst thing? What's the worst that can happen? It doesn't work.
Yeah. It already does.
Yeah.
Man. It already works.
If it's on Instagram, it's the Bible.
Verified too.
Yeah.
There you go. Verified.
Blue check mark.
So let me tell you how dude, me and my wife are big. We used to watch Idol all the time, The Voice, all these things. And so he actually messaged me. He's like, dude, I've seen this kid from Santa Fe on Idol. He's like, dude, I heard it. And he said he wept like a baby.
I did. I will admit.
And so that's when I looked it up. So which is now it's like almost like 3 million like views on YouTube. That audition.
I believe I'm the second most viewed audition. The number one being Ian Thongi, the Hawaiian guy.
Oh, okay. He's on this season too, right?
Yes, but the crazy thing is like mine's at like 3 million and his is at like 10 million. But he's the first and I'm the second.
Well, he also
there.
What I noticed about him. So I think he's Samoan.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the Samoan people are probably some of the most dedicated people on the earth.
And The Rock is part of them.
And there you go, The Rock.
Yeah.
It's got to be The Rock.
It's that Rock Drive.
You know, I think I've seen your YouTube video 3 or 4 times. Now, had it been the Samoan culture, if you were the Samoan culture and I was the Samoan culture, I'd have probably watched it 43 times.
Well, that's why I have Ian. Yeah, no, I have Ian pegged to win, no doubt. Like, my top 3 predictions are like Megan Danielle, Ian Thongi, and probably Colin Stowe. He's a real good friend of mine.
Is he the guy last night in the world all the white?
And now a quick word from our sponsor.
Hey folks, are you tired of feeling tired? Do you have a lack of energy and focus? Do you want to make healthier choices and feel better without breaking the bank?
Then you need to check out with our friends over at True Wild. They make delicious, high-quality products that are affordable and actually work for your body and mind. True Wild's products offer everything you need and cut out the crap that you don't.
A lot of you know that I'm passionate about health and nutrition, and True Wild has been a staple in my daily routine for a while now. I can say honestly that I feel so much better since I've started using their products.
And the best part, they taste amazing. This is where True Wild stands out far above the rest. Stop wasting your time with supplements that taste gross. True Wild offers a truly affordable and great tasting alternative that you've been looking for.
They have so many great products. Whether you're looking for green superfood to add to your morning smoothie or electrolytes with no sugar added for daily hydration, True Wild has you covered.
And as a special offer for our listeners, True Wild is offering a discount of 20% off your entire order when you use D&D Pod at checkout.
Trust us, folks. You will not be disappointed. Head over to TrueWild.com today and start feeling your best. Make sure to use our code D&D Pod for 20% off your order.
Your mind and body will thank you for it.
No, that's Zach.
Okay.
Zach, see, like it would either be between Zach and
Because he
Colin.
made top 5 too.
Yeah, it would either be Colin's the only country guy left. He's there was that guy, then the dude that looks just like Chris Stapleton, Warren P.
Yep.
He got eliminated last night, but
I read a thing online the other day that said they have a buzz going around that if another country person wins American Idol, people are gonna go like ape shit.
it can't happen.
They
No.
said they're mad about it.
That's what I was saying. There's no way EM doesn't win the show.
Okay.
Just because the culture.
Yeah.
There's a huge following, a huge Samoan, Polynesian culture that is behind people like that. You know, that's why people like Israel, I can't pronounce his last name, but he's the big Hawaiian guy that sang Over the Rainbow, like back in the day. And everybody's like, Ian's like a reincarnation of that guy. And I'm like, I swear he is, dude.
But the culture there, going to Hawaii, I've been to Hawaii before, dude. You want to talk about some of the coolest people ever?
I bet.
Yeah.
Nice.
The nicest
friendly,
people ever.
humble.
Love them.
Love food. They love food.
God, they love food, and they love to cook food and pigs in the ground. I love pigs in the ground.
Couchon delay.
Is that what that's called?
Yep.
Quichon de lait.
That's what they
That's
call
like
that.
Louisiana.
Oh, that doesn't count.
Well,
Well, Louisiana does have water touching it, so I guess it is kind of like Hawaii.
Yeah, we're similar. Same beaches.
Yeah.
So you were on American. So that's how I found you. So I watched it. I was like, oh crap, this guy's awesome, crazy. Like, man, your story is very touching. I can see why it's such a widespread watch. Obviously, we'll get into that too. Why and what. I mean, we're from this area. We know about the story. But so what brought you? So I read something that Luke Bryan is the one that kind of.
yes.
Is that true? So he asked you to or got in touch with you, or
So this is what happened. I post a cover of a Chris Stapleton song on my Instagram, and it blows up overnight. And I'm like, sweet, this is what I've been wanting to do, is blow up on TikTok. Maybe a week later, I posted another Chris Stapleton cover, Broken Halos. Probably the coolest thing that happened on that was Joe Jonas commented on that, which led to that blowing up as well.
Yeah.
I get a message from a gentleman on Facebook Messenger, and he's like, hey, my name is so-and-so from American Idol. We'd like to have you audition this year. Please give me a call for the opportunity. And it's like, okay, well, anybody could just message me and say, I'm so-and-so from American Idol.
just give me your social.
So I was like, yeah, give me your social security number, your email address, and your home address. No, so what I actually did was I was like, babe, give me your phone because they can't trace it back to me. So I got my girlfriend Grace's phone, called the number. And I was like, hey, it's Trey Lewis from TikTok. And he goes, there's no way I'm talking to Trey Lewis right now. And I was like, yeah, I took the risk. I was like, 5 minutes after you sent the message, I was like, yeah, I know we don't waste no time around here, man. We're hustling. And so he's like, we're actually doing Zoom auditions right now. You want to hop in a Zoom meeting real quick? I said, sure. And I like saying this part of the story beforehand. Nobody knew my story about what happened and everything like that. This was just strictly all talent based from what they saw on my videos.
Yeah.
So I get in a room with about 5 producers, and they're like, sing us a song. Okay, sing us another song. I think I sang 3 songs for them or something like that, like a minute section of each song. And they were like, well, tell us why you wanna do it. And I told them the story and everything, and Hollywood just grabbed a hold of that, and they're like, okay, I like this kid.
We got something.
So they went blank for a minute, and they were like, we'll call you right back. Give us like 5 minutes. And they called me back on Zoom, and they were like, we want you to come to Las Vegas and sing in front of Lionel Richie, Katy Perry, and Luke Bryan. So at that point, I was like, "Oh, cool, sweet, that's awesome." And then the phone call ended, and I'm like, "What just happened?"
Yeah.
What just happened? I set my phone down. I'm on FaceTime with my sister. She was listening in the whole time, and she's like, Trey, and I'm just like, what just happened?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it, and that period between, because that was like June or July, and I wasn't in Vegas till September.
Oh wow.
And so like I had to kind of hold on to that for a while. And then even after I auditioned, I had to hold on to that for a while.
Oh god, that's tough.
Yeah, I've like 6 months. I had to hold on just to the sole fact that I auditioned and even got my golden ticket. Like I had to just keep that under the bus for a while.
So you couldn't tell any of your friends?
No, so I did though.
I would have too.
Yeah, I did.
Hey, so I got picked a while back. It's funny. A lot of people know this. I got picked a while. You seen that last Shakira show, Dance With Myself?
No.
It was a Shakira dance show with Nick Jonas was a host. I mean, a judge with her.
Uh-huh.
Well, they selected me from TikTok
Oh yeah.
because we do dances on
Yeah.
there. And so I went through the whole deal. I did same thing. I did like some Zoom meetings. I had to they sent me some songs. I had to learn the dances to I danced to them. My daughter's like recording me, and so I got selected. I go to Atlanta. I'm there for a few days. I had a quarantine, and then like the day before I was supposed to go rehearse and then record. They called and said, "Hey, production's behind. Can you come back and can you stay here till next week?" I'm like, "Dude, I got a job and 2 kids and married. I can't." So I missed the boat. But dude, I was literally going to be same kind of deal. Like I went through all this stuff and it just didn't happen.
Oh, they wanted you to stay an extra week. That's
Yeah.
what. So you basically bowed out.
Yeah. So, but they said he couldn't say anything. I told everybody.
Yeah.
I had all the people ask me about how was the show. I didn't get.
Did you sign an agreement to not say anything? You're in breach of contract.
I pretty did. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure I did.
Great.
I love my American Idol people and everybody that works behind scenes production. Every single last one of them are just really, really cool people. But 2 of my biggest pet peeves with them was, number one, they were so last minute, and I'm not sitting here judging them, man, just because like they were constantly moving 24/7, running on Red Bull, and I'm sure other things that I won't say. But like it was crazy to see them constantly moving, and yet still being way behind on schedule.
Yeah.
That, and then kind of what you were saying, people were asking like how it went. I have several friends, like so many people that I met, that crushed every single round that they were in up until that they were eliminated and never got TV time.
Really?
And like they have family and friends. Oh, how'd it go? When are we going to see you on TV? And like they had to like wait 6 weeks each audition week. They were like, oh, I might come up here. I might show up here. I might show up here. And then like by the end of it, they were just all let down. And it was like, man, just...
So what do you think? You think you got to have a story, or you got to be a real standout? What do you think the magic formula is?
So when I was round 1 of Hollywood, there was about 150 people there, and which means Hollywood is the people that got golden tickets.
Yep.
And they showed maybe 50 of those people in the audition episodes. I think there were 5 audition episodes and 10 auditions each episode.
That happens because when they do the I guess like the group week, that's when you're like, man, I never seen that person the whole show.
Yeah.
And then somebody will come out of there like a dark horse.
Yeah, they didn't show my duet for that very reason, because my duet partner never got aired, and so they were like, we won't air that audition or that duet.
What'd you sing?
So I partnered up with this girl named Corinthia from Marshall, Texas, and I'm from Santa Fe, so our group name was Marshall Fe.
Yeah.
And Luke Bryan absolutely dug that. He was all about it. And we sang "It's Your Love" by Tim McGraw.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Great song.
And unfortunately, my partner, she was struggling real bad with the lyrics. So this story is really, really crazy. So we make it past round 1 of Hollywood. That's 2 days of filming. On the like midnight on the second day of filming round 1. So we found out it's gone from about 150 people to 80 people. That's how many people got cut. And so 80 people was the duet round. It's about midnight. They wrap up the last line of people in round 1 of Hollywood Week, and they're like, okay, congratulations to everybody that made it to duet round. Our judges have some words for you guys. So Katy Perry, Lionel Richie, Luke Bryan, they all walk out, and they're like, congratulations, everybody. The next few days are going to be pretty rough on y'all. Hopefully y'all get at least 1 hour of sleep tonight. And then they just walked off.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. What's going on?
Good for your voice.
Yeah, right. So producers come out, and they're like, for the very first time, we're letting you guys pick your duet partner. And we're going to have these bulletin boards on top of the stage, 5 slots per song. It was about 40 songs to pick from. And you're
Pick your top 5.
Or just pick a song from that list.
Okay.
But only 5 people could sing that song.
Oh,
like if
okay.
that song got filled up, you had to pick a different one. So we get back to the hotel about 1 o'clock in the morning. Me and my partner had picked a song already that wasn't working out, so we picked another one. That was about 30 minutes of confusion. So by 2 o'clock in the morning, we finally have a song that we're happy with. We have to wait in a line for other duet partners to rehearse with a piano player, because we're showing back up at the theater at 8:30 in the morning to sing these songs. So we finally get in about 3 o'clock in the morning with our singer. We've been up since probably 6 o'clock that morning, like that other morning. So we've been up a while. And finally get it. And she's struggling real bad with the lyrics. She's never heard the song before. And I was like, it's okay. I was like, I'd rather have a song where one of us knows the lyrics instead of neither of us knowing the lyrics.
Yeah.
Because I can at least try to help you out, or like, hey, look at me and I'll mouth the words to you if you don't know them.
Summer is here, and Good Ranchers wants to give you what you've been craving, a nice summer steak on the grill. Can you hear the sizzle already? I'm not sure what your favorite steak is, but mine's literally every steak I get from Good Ranchers. Every cut that they source from local American farms is hand-cut, trimmed, and aged to perfection. Good Ranchers is proud to be trusted source for high-quality, all-American meat, and they are the way to get the most out of your summer grilling season.
So head on over to goodranchers.com and pick your box. They have ribeyes, New York strips, all natural burgers, and all the delicious chicken you could ever want. Plus, it's all $30 off with my code DNDPOD. With 85% of the grass-fed beef imported from overseas, Good Ranchers wants you to put the American meat on your grill you can feel good about and trust. Whether you're planning a backyard barbecue, a family picnic, or a beachside cookout, they've got you covered with honest, transparent products that deliver quality, price, and flavor.
This is the perfect time of year to easily change the way you buy meat. So go ahead to goodranchers.com and use my code DNDPOD for $30 off any box. Forget about the summer bod for a minute and focus on the summer meats. With Good Ranchers, you can feel good about the 100% American, locally sourced meat you're putting on your grill and on your plate. Make this summer one to remember by starting it with American meat delivered to your door from goodranchers.com. Use my code DNDPOD for $30 off at goodranchers.com today.
So she gets up the next morning. She's having a real hard time, and I think it was just a kind of a mental thing for her. I think she just kept telling herself she was going to forget the lyrics.
Yeah.
Luke Combs actually has a pretty interesting strategy about those kind of things. He talked about it on Rogan's podcast. He was like, I tell myself, you know what, maybe I might. Maybe I will forget the lyrics, but it just kind of makes you relax, because the more you think about it, the more likely you're going to mess up.
Yeah.
Man, Luke Combs' new album is so good, too.
Yeah, it was great. I think she just got in her head, and so her verse came around, and she sang like the first part, and then she just broke down. And that's probably another reason they didn't really show it on TV.
So was it by design that y'all didn't have any sleep? I mean, is there a point to that?
That's the business, man.
It's the business. I think they want to push us to our limits, which is kind of why the duet round was easy, because a lot of people sounded bad. They didn't show a lot of duets because some of them just weren't that great. But they just wanted to test how you reacted, how you responded to adversity. They weren't even worried about lyrics. I don't know if y'all saw, but there was a duet that aired during the duet week, and it was Zachariah Smith, who's in the top 5 right now, and his duet partner, and they completely forgot the lyrics to "I'm Still Standing" by Elton John.
Oh wow!
And completely, they pulled out their phones, and Katy Perry was like, "Do y'all have a call to make or something?" And they were like, "No, we don't know the lyrics." And she was like, "No, put your phones away. You're not allowed to do that." And they just went off of each other, and they were like, "That's the whole point of this round. We want to see how two people bounce off of each other, work with each other." So just it's like you said, it's showbiz, man. It's I don't think the judges get very much sleep. And let me tell you something, my background is sleep. I worked for a mattress company.
Sling and spring, baby.
Sling and spring, baby. I worked for a mattress company, dude. And we're called sleep experts, and that's not a joke. We did training, literal training on sleep. I can call myself a sleep expert. I know facts about sleep, and it ruined me because I need sleep now. It's like I know how important it is, and then Hollywood was like, "Nah, you got to forget about all that." Yeah, sleep's overrated.
Who cares about your health?
No, you got to forget about all that. So, yeah.
So how crazy was I guess okay. So you get to Vegas come September, and it's the actual audition in Vegas. So how was that like going into there? Like you just unknown, right? I mean, I think it was unknown what you're gonna do.
Yeah, it was tough, man. The worst part of auditions is you meet so many people. Like even though it gets cut to 150 at the first round of Hollywood Week, there's probably about 300 contestants per audition city. So there's a lot of people who just don't make that cut. And
unless you're really bad,
or you
got a really good story, or you're really good.
Exactly, exactly.
But
so we're waiting around all day, and we don't know when we're going. They just come get us. We're loaded up in this holding room. Like, I'm not kidding.
Like it shows you.
Yeah, there's probably 300 contestants in this holding room. Now, to be fair, several of us are getting pulled out to do B-roll filming, stuff like that. So like it's not constantly packed, but there's a lot of people in there at once. One of the coolest moments was we had about 75 people in there maybe. And it was early in the morning. It was the morning of my audition round. And at this point, I don't know when I'm going. I just know they're going to come call my name. So everybody was not eating breakfast. Everybody's nervous. People are going to the bathroom to vomit and stuff. And I'm like, I'm the kind of guy that I'm not like an attention whore, man, but I love being the guy, you know. And Luke Bryan said that when I got eliminated. He was like, you're just the guy. It's a great quality to have. Yep. And so I'm like, I'm gonna get everybody out of this bad mood that everybody's in. Everybody's nervous and stuff. I told my guitar player buddy, I was like, play Wonderwall.
There you go. That'll get everybody going.
I got everybody in there to harmonize Wonderwall with me. And then one of the producers comes out and she's like, "Hey, that was really cool, but y'all were not supposed to do that. We're filming and we have to start over." And then one camera guy looked at me, he was like, "Really, Wonderwall?" And I'm like, "Hey, man, it's a good song."
Dude, it's still a great song.
It's a great song.
Hey, you asked me about Cabo. So the last night we're there, we're outside the restaurant, and they got these two Hispanic guys walking down with guitars. And it's our buddy's birthday. We're like, "Hey, sing a song." And he's like, "Play Wonderwall." And dude, these guys went at it, sang the whole song.
I love Wonderwall,
in the street. Then they sang "Friends in Low Places." Yeah, but I didn't even add because we're from Texas, and they started singing Garth Brooks.
Man, I want to go to Cabo so bad. But anyway, so I'm hearing news of a lot of people that I've met getting eliminated, and it's just it was hard news to take. And it's like probably 5 o'clock, and somebody goes, "Hey, there's a sheet of paper up there by all the producers," because there's like a producer's table in the holding room, and it looks like a list of who's auditioning today in order. And goes, "You're the last one on there." And I'm like, I hope I'm not the last one to go. I hope it's alphabetical or something.
Yeah.
And sure enough, dude, it's 9 o'clock, and I was super, super tight with the producers. Okay, so I'm not going to name any names here, but some of them would tell me things I wasn't supposed to be told just yet. So I asked. I was like, "Am I last?" And she's like, "Yeah, you're last." I was like, "Okay." So it's probably about 10 o'clock at night, man.
And you've been there all morning?
We've been there probably since 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my. Were you there, Grace? You were there, too?
Grace was there the whole time. So they even set it up that way to where, like, I told you there's probably over 150 people in the holding room at once at some points. And they did filming with me and Grace where nobody was in the room. So it felt like they were setting it up to where I was going to be the last one to audition and stuff.
Like, we were waiting all day. This is the best one we got. Like,
exactly. So that's how they were setting up the filming and everything. And my buddy Colt Glover, he's absolutely my best friend that I've met on the show. He's from the Houston area, but he currently goes to OK State. He lives in Stillwater.
That's where I went.
Yeah, go Pokes. Well, I'm an Aggie, but go Pokes because my friend goes there. Yeah,
State, so.
They were. So the elevator doors open for me to go to the floor where the audition room is. And Colt Glover's holding his golden ticket, and
cool.
like that made me happier. It made me happier more than me winning the golden ticket.
He's a country guy too, obviously.
Yeah, he sounds just like Tyler Childers, dude.
Oh, nice.
I'm not kidding. Like, you put me and him in a room together, it's a Chris Stapleton, Tyler Childers fest. He's a great singer. Dude, he's good, man.
He's got a great voice, Childers. Yeah.
Yes, he sounds just like him. He's like a mix between him and Zach Bryan.
Dude's killing it.
But so I was like, yeah, no, that's got me pumped up. So we go to the room. There's like 4 people in front of me, and they're just coming in and out, and then it's my turn, and I'm pacing the floor. I'm sweating bullets, man. I'm nervous as all get out. I'm drinking water. I'm drinking so much water, but my thirst is not getting quenched, man. It is driving me crazy. So I go in the audition room. It might have a lot to do with Vegas air, too. So I go into the audition room with super, super dry throat, like very dry throat. And I'm like, I'm about to sing Stone by Whiskey Myers with a dry throat. I was like, I got to hook him with that story there at the end just in case. And, yeah, man. That. But so I go in there, and before I go in there, my producer, he's the same one that sent me the original message to get me to come onto the show. He is like one of the head producers of the show. I told him, I'm like, man, I'm tired, dude. I was like, I wanna have more energy for something like this. And he's like, we're all tired, man. He goes, the judges are tired. The producers are tired. Yeah. He's like, the producers are tired. Camera people are tired. The judges are really freaking tired. He goes, that's why it's your job to go in there and wake them up.
That's a long day.
No, dude, you're not. You're telling me.
And most of those guys are union, so it's crazy that they work that long.
Mm-hmm. No, they do. One of them was explaining how they get paid. They were like, they get paid by the hour, so like $8 hours is a full day's pay.
Yep.
I think like 2 or 4 extra hours is overtime. If they work 16 hours, they get paid double overtime, I think is what it's called. And if they work it's 10 hours is overtime, 12 hours is like double, and then 16 hours they get paid what they're paid in a whole week in one day.
Holy cow.
And I was like talking to one of them, I was like, if I was you, I would just work. He goes, I don't have anything better to do. I'm one of the people that just does the 16-hour days every day. He's like, I don't have anything else better to do. And they're a Disney company, and so like these people work on Disney sets, ESPN sets, several other like American Idol's a Simon Cowell show.
Yep.
So they all work on Dancing with the Stars. They all work on America's Got Talent too.
AGT,
So anyway, he's like, yeah, man, you gotta go in there and wake him up. And so I never played football, man, but I tried to pump myself up similar to a way a football player would before he steps out onto the field.
You're like, Grace, slap me in the face.
Yeah, no, well, I started banging on my own chest, and I'm like, I'm getting pumped up, and like, I just walk in the room and I just clap my hands really, really loud. I'm like, let's go, baby! I just let out a let's go,
There you
baby.
go.
And Lionel Richie dug that energy, and I stepped up. And one of the biggest compliments I get from people that have watched my audition is, man, you were so composed. You look so good up there. And I'm like, I was shaking, dude.
Yeah, you couldn't tell.
Oh, dude, I was rough. I was just like, you got to just try to be yourself, man. Just breathe. Try to be yourself. Try to be that Trey from the Fe that everybody loves. And
Be you, man.
yeah, just be me. And so that's what I did. And everything was cool. I did the audition song. There's a lot they didn't show. We talked for like 5 minutes before I sang. Me and the judges did. And we made jokes about mattresses and stuff like that. And he asked me this. Luke Bryan was like, "What song are you going to sing?" And he goes, "All right, man, sounds good. I guess he's heard the song before. I don't know." So I sang Stone, and again, I just had dry throat. I was like, it didn't come out bad, but I know I could have done a whole lot better. And as soon as I got done singing, all three of them stood up and just started clapping. Crazy. And the first thing I said was, y'all sit down.
Yeah.
I say, y'all sit down, man. I was like, y'all don't got to stand up for me.
So who was prettier in person, Luke Bryan or Katy Perry?
Or Lionel Richie.
Katy Perry's pretty, man.
She's pretty.
Katy Perry's pretty. But they look different in person than they do on TV.
Oh, yeah.
They have this certain glow on TV that they don't like. The crazy thing is the American Idol circle that you stand into audition is pretty far away from the desk.
Really?
Yes, like farther away than what it looks like on TV. And so when you're standing that far back, they look like what you kind of see on TV, especially for me. I have really bad eyes.
Okay.
And so they were just like looking at them. And I got done singing, and I was like, let me come shake your hand, Luke. And he's like, no, man, come give me a hug. And I gave all of them a hug. And that's like when I got up close, I was like, oh, you guys are wearing a lot of makeup.
Is Luke Bryan tall?
Luke Bryan is huge.
He's a big guy,
I
huh?
Wikipedia'd Luke Bryan, and he said he's 6 foot tall. I said, bullshit. That boy is 6'4", 6'5" or something. He's
Bullshit.
taller than me.
He looks like a big cat, dude.
Yeah.
I'm 6'2", and he
He's
looks bigger.
huge.
He looks like a big guy.
He's
huge.
He's 6 foot when he's gyrating his hips.
Oh, dude, I love it.
He's no Braden the Canadian King. So he's a buddy of mine that was in Vegas with us. He's from Canada, and he's 6'10". And he never got no TV time, but he's a country singer. He made it to top 55, just like I did. He got cut at the same time that I got cut. But no, 6'10". He makes me look small.
That's big.
Yeah, huge.
I would not want. Would you rather be 6'10" or 4'10"?
6'10" any day.
Any day,
I saw this the other day, man. No woman wants a guy that's 4'10".
No chance.
No, not unless you in like 5th grade.
So, Grace, how nervous were you?
I was crying the whole time.
Yeah?
Crying.
The best part is she was crying the whole time, but my producer was crying right along with him.
How long were y'all in Vegas for?
6 days, 7 days.
Did they pay? Did they pay for you to go, being that they asked you?
So
how'd that work?
They pay for everything as far as flight and hotel.
Okay.
Which I have no idea how, man. These American Idol projects have to be $1 million projects.
Oh, yeah.
To
Dude,
fly everybody out, everybody's hotel room, everybody's food.
Dude, there's a lot of ad money that
Yes.
American Idol brings
Yes.
in, and
Put
it's prime time and it's syndicated. I mean,
Put it this way, they're making a lot of money.
Yeah, I know they're making
Yeah.
a lot too, but man, they spin it like it doesn't exist.
oh,
you know?
I can imagine.
Well, when you're making $400 million and you spend $100 million, who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's that Patrick Mahomes money right there.
There
So
you go.
you were there that long
Yeah, we were there for about a week,
for
and we're working on getting paid. I think they're paying me just to be there. I haven't gotten it yet, but I think that's something that does happen. Yeah.
Are you going to go back during any of the live stuff? You think? No.
So actually, I'm going to air May 15th. They're doing a special, like the journey to the finale.
Yeah.
Which is the Monday after, so like a week from today.
Okay.
Next Monday, May 15th. They're doing an episode. They actually came back and did some hometown filming with me after I got eliminated. Like a good 4 or 5 months after. So I got eliminated in December, and they came and seen me in April. I think April or March. And they just wanted to catch up with me, and they were like super happy to find out that I didn't work for the mattress store anymore, and I'm doing music full time. I picked up the guitar, which is something I was pretty determined to do after I got eliminated. It's just really the only way to write music.
Yeah.
So you had never played the guitar beforehand?
No, I've never.
So you're taking a crash course at it.
Yeah,
right
I'm
now.
pretty fresh, man. So my buddy Beckett McDowell, his dad is Malcolm McDowell. He was the doctor in the Rob Zombie's film of Halloween.
No kidding.
His brother is something McDowell, who's married to Lily Collins, and so he's got like a famous Hollywood family. They live out in California, and he's a part of our group chat. He made it through top 24, but he has his own story to tell. And you can find it in news articles. I won't be the one to tell the story. But he withdrew from the competition.
Oh wow.
I texted the group chat, and I'm like, hey, what do you guys recommend I do about getting a cheap guitar? I was just going to go to a pawn shop, find the cheapest guitar I could find, and pick it up. I don't need nothing fancy yet. I just need something to learn on. And he was like, I have this Fender Newporter that's like a $500 guitar, and I'll send it to you for $250. I was like, I just quit Mattress Firm. I was like, I don't want to spend $250 right now. Right. I don't have any gigs lined up. I was like, I appreciate the offer though. And he goes, if I send it to you, could you pay for shipping? It's like $60. And I was like, if you want to do that, yeah. And like at midnight, he sent me a message that night. He's like, don't worry about it. It'll be there in like 10 days. I was like, sweet. So I got this brand new Fender guitars.
Awesome.
Mailed over from California. And yeah, I've been teaching myself.
I've been seeing you when you played what was the last Stapleton song you did on there? You mentioned on your caption that you're just learning that one.
Yeah.
Cold.
Yeah, that was probably one of them. Yeah,
killed that.
But yeah, no, it's different for me because I feel like I have an ear for music.
Yeah.
So I've been told by a lot of my friends from Idol, they're just like, Trey, you learn guitar really fast. Like where you're at compared to where I was at along that journey, it's like you're far beyond where I was.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah, no, it's super, super good to hear, especially when I think I suck.
Yeah.
But
when'd you start singing? I mean,
that's crazy, dude. So,
when'd you realize you could sing pretty good?
2020.
Not even 2020, like 2021.
Really?
So.
You learned on American Idol.
Honestly, dude, American Idol was like really the only thing it took American Idol for me to be like, okay, my voice is pretty good.
Yeah.
And even to this day, I have trouble liking my own voice. It's something a lot of musicians have, man. Like a lot of musicians have a problem hearing their own voice and stuff. It helps with auto-tune and studios and stuff too.
Oh, I'm sure.
For some reason, the iPhone has a really hard time picking up my growl, and like it just kind of sounds bad. And so I always use a mic filter on my TikToks. So where were we at?
When'd you learn how to sing?
Okay, so I got bullied a lot in school for singing, and I guess I was because I wasn't good. But I always loved to sing. I would sing in class. I also have like really bad ADHD, and so I have a problem where if you tell me to stop singing, I'll stop for like 5 minutes and completely forget you asked me to stop. So I'll start singing again. So that was a real problem growing up, up until the point where I just kind of grew up and matured and realized that it pissed people off. So I just stopped doing it. And I think I've always been real musical. I felt like I could at least carry a tune.
Yeah.
And so we dated back in 2020, and she used to like my singing. And then we broke up in 2020. We dated for like a month.
Grace.
And that was my fault, dude. Totally my fault, bro.
Sang your wrong song.
I guess so. No, absolutely my fault. So we.
What'd you do? She looks like she wants you to tell us.
We got Grace.
She wants the story. Grace wants the story. Okay, so we'll get around to what I was saying. So Grace, we dated, and it was a really, really bad time to get together. March of 2020. It was just a terrible time.
Yeah.
I asked her out on March 1st of 2020. We were drinking, and me and my buddies were drinking. Okay.
Did you have a mask on?
And no, so this is March 1st of 2020. At this time, it wasn't like a huge deal yet. Like we weren't in quarantine.
It became huge in June.
Yeah, but there was like cases coming up every now and then, and I remember being really, really toasted. And I was like, man, we're drinking a lot. What are we celebrating for? And in a joking way, my buddy was like the first case of COVID in the U.S. And I'm like, oh, and then I guess we probably started the pandemic just by saying that.
I love it.
But I remember being toasted, and I'm like, I'm going to ask this girl out. And I had been talking to her through Facebook dating, I think. And I asked her out, and we went on one date. And then I didn't want to hang out with her. Like, I don't know. It wasn't nothing to do with her. It was me.
You also have to explain this date. He promised me dinner. So at this time I was living at my brother's house. He promised me dinner.
Uh-huh.
I didn't eat dinner at my brother's house because I was waiting on him. He was 2 hours late.
Oh.
I still got in the
He's already in showbiz.
Yeah.
I still got in the vehicle with him. Then he's driving. Not asking where I want to go eat.
I was also driving without a license and insurance.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
And then he goes straight to the movies. And I'm like, nice. So we'll probably get dinner after. No.
We didn't get dinner after.
No dinner.
No dinner. What's up?
Took her straight back to the house.
Attaboy.
Yeah. I'm a stud, dude. I know how to treat them ladies.
So you went on a first date. You went on a first date to the movie, which is an absolute horrible idea.
It is. No. Movies were like, first date for movies were cool whenever you used to drive your car up to the screen.
Yeah.
What movie did y'all see?
Invisible Man.
Yeah, you almost became invisible.
Yeah, I did. Sure. Yeah, no. So I just dropped her back off at her house. Had the nerve to ask her to give me a kiss at the end of our first date. And
did she blush?
Huh? No, I gave her a kiss. It was a bad one, but I gave her a kiss. And then 20. Oh, so how we broke up? So we dated for about a month.
I'm loving this. We're gonna patch all your audio in through this camera.
Yeah.
We dated for about a month, and her birthday is March 30th, and our 1 month anniversary would have been April 1st. So I dumped her on March 31st, a day after her birthday, and a day before our 1 month.
Dude,
I didn't want to wait till April 2nd. I had shit to do. So I would have took care of it.
This is the guy you hit your wagon to right here.
Yeah. And then we got back together. She dated quite a piece of shit for a long time. And
That's valid.
yeah, I'll say it on live, dude. Y'all can put that in.
I had a brand new car, and it's sitting in
impound in Mexico right now.
Oh, nice. Classy guy.
We can wait till after.
So
what movie y'all go see? No, I'm joking.
Gone in 60 seconds.
Yeah, no, 60 seconds. So
this was great.
we got back together. My brother had a wedding, and I'm like, I'm not gonna disappoint my family any longer. I'm gonna bring a date to this wedding. And I was like, even if it's an ex from 2 years ago, I was like, I don't care. And she was the only ex that had just gotten dumped with, so I was like, I'll pick that one. And I was like, so we went. Dude,
I love this.
We went on a date to my brother's wedding, and I don't know, man. Well, how it first started was I actually went and did training for Mattress Firm, and Spring, and during this time, I had slid in her DMs. I'm like, hey, I noticed you're not with Homeboy no more.
He sent me a video of an Asian man.
Yeah, it was really, really funny. Yeah, it was really, really funny. It was like a random meme. I was like, I'm gonna send it to all my friends, and like, I guess I don't send memes often because she was still in the chat, and I noticed her profile picture was changed, and I was like, now's my chance. And so I sent it, and so it wasn't him and her; it was just her, and I was just, you know what? Yeah, and so we talked for a while, and I'm in Spring, and she's like, hey, do you want some company? And I'm like, yeah, I'm in a hotel room by myself. I'm like, absolutely. And she comes and hangs out, and despite what she thought I invited her over for, what I thought she wanted to come over for, we stayed up till like 4 o'clock in the morning just talking.
Yeah.
Just talking about what we've been through in the past 2 years since we've seen each other last. And man, we just both realized, like, man, you're really easy to talk to.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I've known you my whole life. And I was like, yeah, that's a good wedding date. And so that was in November of 2021. We moved in together in February of 2022.
How old are y'all?
Yeah, don't wait.
Yeah, I turned 22 tomorrow.
Oh,
Dude.
And she just turned 22 March 30th.
Nice. So y'all been together
A little over a year.
Okay.
A little over a year and a half now, right?
Dude, you know, it's funny. You just turned 22.
I turned 22 tomorrow.
Me and my wife have been together 21 years. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
39.
He's
We met when we were
40
19.
He's 49.
I'll be 40 in June.
I'm 20.
Don't look at dude.
I'm 22.
I thought you were like 29.
I am. Suck it.
Do I look younger?
He looks older.
I look younger.
I'd say about 30.
Oh, you old bitch.
Okay, there's one person in the world that would say that.
Dude, me and Grace are best friends.
He's
though.
gonna stick to that for the rest. I'll never hear the rest of it. Thanks a lot. Thanks for gracing
Thanks,
us,
babe.
Grace.
Thanks, babe. That's why I bring her to stir up shit everywhere I
Yeah,
go.
I love it. So was Mattress Firm upset you left? You put them on the map, dude.
I did put Mattress Firm on the map, man. So this is what happened. I'm in Los Angeles, and Grace calls me. I miss a lot of work because of American Idol,
Yeah.
and so we're kind of deep, and I wouldn't say debt, but like we had a lot of bills due,
Yeah.
and we just didn't have the money for it. And she calls me while I'm in Los Angeles, and she's like, "Hey, rent's due at our apartment." We used to live in Beaumont, Texas.
Yep.
And she's like, rent's due in our apartment, and like we just don't have it. And I'm like, see what you can do to back out of it. And she's like, the only way we can back out of it is if we leave like now. And I'm like, okay. My plane lands on the 14th, and we were moving in Santa Fe by the 15th. And so like as soon as I got back from Los Angeles, we moved from Beaumont to Texas. Or Beaumont, Texas to Santa Fe. Well, it's basically Louisiana,
Yeah.
you know, over there.
Yeah. I worked there for years.
Yeah. Beaumont is
You know what's good about Beaumont?
nothing.
I was about to say I don't personally know. I was gonna see if you knew.
It's been told me it was the butthole of Texas.
No, so like there's Ford Park, a lot of good concerts going at
They
Ford
do?
Park.
I've seen Cody Johnson there.
There's good kids baseball fields out there.
They
Is
do.
there?
We go there for baseball.
Yeah.
Ford baseball. The baseball field's right there at the Ford Park. Is nice.
Yeah, other than that, man, it's a tough place to live in. It's like a small town with big city problems.
Yeah.
Like it's not that big of a place, but there's a lot of homeless people. There's a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
A lot of crime.
A lot of
There's-
crime.
yeah, a lot of crime. I
We
know, man.
lived in
Actually,
the
the road that
ghetto,
we lived
dude.
on-
Really.
The road that we lived on was known to be the worst crime.
Really? Yeah. That's good thing you got out of there.
I had lived there like less than a year, and I'm telling all my coworkers at Mattress Firm, I'm like, yeah, we're moving in on so and so street, and they're like, oh. You're brave. And I'm like,
so that's when you quit Mattress Firm?
Yeah. So I was like, it was really last minute. I had to text my boss where I'm like, hey man, I was like, I know it's not ideal, but as soon as I get home, I have to leave. I was like, can you transfer me? And they're like, no, we really can't. There's not any store openings. Like 5 days before my audition aired, I'm still looking for a job, right? And I hadn't had a job for like 2.5 months at this point, so I'm like, I need to work, even if I don't want to. I need to work. So I go in for an interview. A position opens up down here, and I went in for an interview, and it goes good. The person who interviewed me used to be my old boss. So it was all good and everything, and my audition aired, and then I blew up again. Yeah. Like I blew up again, and you can read my DMs, and people are just still trying to book me. And so then I was like, can I do gigs and Mattress Firm? Should I just stick with gigs? And I got a call like 2 days after my audition aired, and they're like, yeah, no, we want you to come back. I'm like, of course you do. I'm going to sell a shit ton of mattresses for you guys. Yeah. That's why you want me to come back. Yeah. And I had to make a decision, man. I knew the mature thing to do was to do mattress selling and gigs on the side.
Yeah. You got to go all in, man.
But I firmly and truly believe that we're put on this earth to do a career that we want to do. Yep. I think there's certain things that happen, like mass shootings and people wanting to harm themselves because of that reason, because they feel like they're stuck in a cycle, in a circle. So I truly believe, I'm like, man. And I tell people this all the time. I have friends who are in the dump, and I'm like, find that thing that you want to do, even if it seems ridiculous, even if it seems like never in a million years I'd get to that point. Chase it, because a year ago I said the same thing. Never in a million years would I be on American Idol. Yeah. Never in a million years would I be on one of the biggest shows on network television. And it's just ridiculous shit happens in life, man. It is. Ridiculous shit happens in life, and all you got to do is just go after it, you know? So I had to make a decision, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna do music. I have to. Just because I can't walk into a mattress store, sit down at a desk, and pretend I'm happy.
Yeah. But you know what you could do? Yes, I'm always thinking of business ventures. That's always my mind. Why don't you just become a spokesperson for Mattress Firm?
Hey, if I receive the call, I'll take it.
We'll start a petition for that too.
We'll get that squared away for you.
Put that next to Austin's petition.
Yeah, dude. We're gonna get Eckler paid, and we're gonna get you to be a spokesperson.
All right. See which one happens first.
Yeah. I got faith in you.
Yeah. So what are you doing now? You doing a lot of shows? You doing? I know you said you're like. So So funny thing, when I messaged you, you read it like a couple days later, and you never responded. I was like, oh man. I said, dude, he read it. I said, but he hasn't responded yet. So I'm sure he's getting blown up. So I was like, man, I'm close. That's the only reason I was like, okay, we're close. We got some kind of connection here. I said, man, we really want to talk to you, you know, just because people around here would like to see you. Plus, there's other people that want to hear from you, you know. And so then when you responded, I was pumped.
You saw that I read it?
Yeah.
Babe, we got to change that on my settings to where people don't see I read their message, even if I did. Because I didn't want to do this podcast, but I'm kidding.
Yeah. Is this on? This was on Instagram.
Yeah.
Is there a way to stop that from happening?
I don't know.
No, there is. So like on all of them, there's a way where it just says delivered instead of read.
Yeah, because it showed that you've seen it. I was like, okay. So I called him. I said, hey, good news. He's seen it. I said, I don't know. So we just shot our shot, see if we can get him.
I'm getting better at that kind of stuff, man. Like you said, it's I'm not really super, super busy. I get maybe 5 to 10 messages a day of people wanting me to do something.
Yeah.
It's all about just taking the leap. I have a hard time taking leaps sometimes, man. And I have to remember, I was like, you just got to keep the momentum going,
Dude,
you know. And a podcast like this is a great way to do that.
I've talked to a lot of people on my DMs over the last 8 years of what I've been doing. I talked to a lot of people. Just one, because I know the feeling that I get, or my wife gets. She messages somebody she likes, and they talk to her, or whatever. And I was like, man, it's such an easy thing just for you to know, just going forward. Even if somebody just says something to you, like if somebody says something funny or interesting or asks a question, I'll answer them just so they'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's such an easy way to uplift somebody's day. And that's just it's such an easy way to make somebody happy. And then I've got some guys and the ladies that I've talked to for years on Instagram. Just because it's just one of those things where I've just kept up with them, and they same.
I had a buddy that had that conversation with me the other day. He was talking about like responding to comments and stuff.
Just being genuine, man. Like if you want to do it, if that's you, do it. If it's not you, then don't.
That is me. That's the thing. That is me, man. It's just like I did it a lot before American Idol. Like on TikTok, you can go look at the TikTok videos that blew up. Like the first couple people that would comment, I'd always respond to them. I just need to get back in the cycle of doing that.
Yeah,
I kind of
man,
forgot.
it's something super easy, and people remember that, and they will tell X amount of people that don't know you that'll be a fan of yours because, oh man, my friend's, he talked to Trey From the Fe. Oh, who's that guy? And then you listen to him, and then like I'm telling you that it'll just grow your network.
Yeah,
it really will.
I tried to like here recently, like I try to be a celebrity that I would like to meet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like my probably biggest icon in music right now is Co Wetzel. I would freak out if he I would freak out if he commented on my video or replied to my stuff.
Yeah.
And there's people who look at me like that right now.
Oh,
there's people out there that look at Trey From the Fe and they're like, "That's my Co Wetzel. That's my Luke Combs."
And then you got a touching story.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I mean, I'm sure you maybe have, or somebody reached out to you like, "Hey, this happened to me," or whatever. Yeah, man, it's just.
I just got a message today from a Vegas survivor.
Really.
And they're like, "Hey, man, I don't want any, clout or anything like that. I just want to let you know I'm here with you. I've been through it." But yeah, that kind of stuff is cool, and I just kind of have to be better at responding and stuff.
Somebody decided to jump on our podcast, man.
I love podcasts.
Really? Okay, good.
Yeah. If I feel like this podcast is a starter, and one day I'll be on Theo's, one day I'll be on Joe's, and if they can be like, "Man, we saw you on Dale Not Dale, and we'd love to have you on our show," that's the reason. I was like,
dude, I've been saying yes to a lot of things over the last couple of years. Like if get an opportunity, I just do it.
Just say yes, man.
Like I said, we did my sister-in-law's. I know Grace said she follows my sister-in-law Danielle. She has her boutique. She has her fashion show every year. Well, this year was her second one, and me and Vaughn, we were emceed, like we hosted it, and so it was fun. It was just something like I said, "Hey, we want to do it." She's like, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Yeah." So then she's like, "All right, we'll let y'all do it. Don't screw it up." I'm like,
I love podcasts, man.
Podcast's fun.
I want to start my own. Number one, because I feel like I'm a good interviewer. I feel like I can have. I feel like we're having a good conversation right now. I want to do it with people on Idol. Like, sit down with me. Let's
like
make
behind the scenes.
Yes, let's make some drinks, man. Let's sip on them and just like talk. We could talk for 3 hours, and there's 50 different people I could have those conversations with.
Yeah, I mean that's the cool thing. You've got your background. You're a great singer, and then you meet a lot of cool people. You're going to continue to keep meeting people.
Yeah,
and you got to leverage those connections. That's what we do, man. I leverage connections to other connections and try to find people. That's what you got that, man.
Yeah. So, are you like big on TikTok? Do you get on it a bunch?
We do. So we have a family one we started. Like we have one for the podcast. It's growing, but I have one for my family. We started in 2020, and me and my wife and my 2 kids. We do TikTok dances and all kind of stuff. And that we blew up. But like we don't do them enough anymore. So now we need to start doing them.
Are you familiar with Justin Nunley?
Yep, I talked to him.
So he is one of the coolest guys ever. He commented on my Broken Halos video after it was posted.
Oh, that's cool.
And so he's been a friend of mine on social media since then. and he saw my audition, and he sent me a message, and he was like, do you mind if I pass your name along to some people I know? And he does videos with Jelly Roll and Bunny, and he does videos with Jordan Davis, and I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
I was just with a buddy in Cabo, and he's friends with Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to work that connection to get him on.
Jelly Roll is somebody
Dude, the jam.
I would love to jam with, but like I feel like I'd be a perfect opener for his shows.
Yeah.
I'm more of a clean cut Jelly Roll, but I get a lot of my inspiration from Jelly Roll.
He's
a
good,
lot.
man.
Hey, you're minus the face tattoo.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The
You got to go all
mullet
that.
and everything. Just like him and Co Wetzel. Him, Co Wetzel, Chris Stapleton. You want to ask me who my icons are? That's them.
Okay. I like OS a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, hell, one of my favorite Parker songs is the one he did with Coa.
Yeah,
you know,
Love.
like that. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a great song.
That's one of the best songs ever.
Well written song,
Well,
and
great.
it's deep, man.
Yeah,
it's
it really
a dark.
is.
It's a dark. It
really
gets dark.
It's funny. He'll sing that song and he'll be like, "I wrote this song about a stripper."
Yeah.
It was like, and it's like such a sad song. That's why I like Co. It's like a lot of his songs are sad and come from a point where I've been in my life before, but they make you
And he gets rowdy.
Yeah.
they make you want to headbang. No matter how sad the song is,
He
they just
jams.
make you want to headbang. Man, I love Co.
Yep. Dude.
Dude, so your life basically, this is all new to you.
Yeah.
And it's hard to keep up with.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up with. It's hard to get used to too.
Yeah.
I'm glad we didn't stay back in Beaumont or nothing like that. But I grew up in Santa Fe, and I went to the same stores, the same grocery stores, the same corner stores, the same McDonald's.
Yeah.
And now I go to those places, and I'm Trey Lewis now. I'm not just another customer. And so it's pictures with people. People want to have
Cool, man.
conversations with me, and it really is cool, dude. It's so cool. But I consider myself to be a pretty humble guy, and so I get back in my car and I'm like, why would they want a picture with me? You know,
Yeah.
and I know why. It takes a lot to get used to.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to get used to.
Yeah, it's definitely something. It's
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's one of those, like, coming from, obviously I'm older. Nobody has their shit figured out at 21 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody does.
I still don't.
And you are on a fast track to have to hurry up to
know.
figure it out.
Yeah.
Which is tough for some people to do.
For me, it's better though. I've always been better in situations where like I get pushed in and thrown in.
Yep.
And then like improv it, dude.
Yeah.
I've always been.
I'm a
like
wing
that.
it guy, dude.
I'm a wing it guy, man.
He hates it.
I'm a wing it guy.
Me and him are so opposite.
She hates it.
He's like very structured, very smart, and I'm not structured, and I'm dumb.
You're not dumb.
I know, but I like to think I'm dumb. It's just fun. Like, I just go with it. Like,
Yeah.
that's just what I've always done, man. And I've always made good decisions, and I followed my gut. You know, I feel like if it happened easy, or if it like I said, if it seems like okay, it worked out. Like, I'm a big believer in if it's meant to be, it's going to be. Like,
me
dude, I'm
too.
telling you, I follow that to a fault.
There's that, and because I learn best when I'm pushed in like hard situations. It's also a curse because I learn the hard way every
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
Every time I learn the hard way. I don't learn the easy way. I have to
Like,
go through it.
so me and my wife, we've been here 21 years. Like, we've had struggles and things, and like, I'm like, she's like, hey, what are we gonna do? I'm like, it's gonna work out.
Yeah.
It's gonna work out, and it does every time. So just for you guys to know, like, man, I'm telling you, if you follow that the right way and just try to make the right decision that you go with, I'm telling you, like, it's worked out for me. Thank God.
It's even it's nicer to have a gal that trusts that.
Yeah, and I've made big decisions in work and things like that, and she's like, yeah, you've done us right for our family since then,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna trust you. That's the same kind of thing. It helps for sure.
Yeah, it does. Just be able to have somebody that you can say that to. It'll work out. We'll figure it out. Because I'd say that more than anything, dude. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I say that more than anything, dude. We'll figure it out. And even if we don't, we're fine.
What's the worst that's
We're
going to
fine.
happen?
Exactly. We're fine. So we're for somebody that we dated for 4 months before we moved in with each other. We've lived with each other for over a year now, so we kind of got each other down.
Yeah.
And I think, she's somebody I would spend the rest of my life with, and she feels the same way. And it's just it's a friend connection,
Yeah.
Are you about to propose on this podcast?
No, hell no.
Hey,
Come on.
we're ordained ministers.
We're
We can
ordained
make this happen right
ministers.
now.
We can make this happen legally.
Hell no.
Grace from the Fe.
We are, dude. We'd love to. Let's do it right now. No, I'm just kidding.
Grace from the Fe. So
I'll sing at your wedding too.
I have a sister who got married kind of at a young age, and
Yeah.
I just want to avoid that because they're no longer married. So it's like,
It's with the right person.
well, yeah, and if it feels right, it's just like I'd like to be together for more than at least 2 years before I pop the question.
Yeah.
There's no good time to get married.
There isn't.
There's never.
No good time to get married. No
There
good time to have
isn't.
kids.
No.
There's no good time for any of it.
There isn't, man. And the kids thing is tough because we want kids, obviously, but she's worked at a daycare her whole life.
Ugh.
And
Yeah.
it's just slowly fading away on the thought of her wanting kids. And with me, it's like, the last thing I need right now is a child.
Yeah.
Somebody who is trying to be an up and coming artist. The last thing I need right now is a child. And it's not even that I just don't want kids. It'd be a really bad thing for me to have one right now, and I don't want to do that to myself or the kids.
I mean, sadly, it's a point in your life where you're gonna have to be selfish for a while to get to where you need to be.
No,
at.
and for real,
That's just part of it.
It's hard because I'm such a selfless person, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. Just like, for example, I have a guitar player, and he's learning just like me. He has kind of like a Slipknot Metallica background,
Oh, Slipknot.
and we're trying to get him on like a Chris Stapleton background, which it makes it easy because I love co-songs.
Yeah.
And he's hopping on
He
board
jams,
with co-songs, and Chris Stapleton songs, he's hopping on board with that stuff too. But like, I know there's better guitar players out there. And even if one of them were to come up to me and be like, "Hey, man, let me be your guitar player. Tell homeboy to kick it," I could never. Dude.
Could do it. Yeah.
I could never.
Tell them to learn some Hardy. Hardy jams too.
Yeah, so we just learned "Sign Sober You" by Hardy.
Okay.
It's one of the best songs ever written, dude, and it's not even popular.
I saw him last year
Hardy.
with it was the out. So I'm friends with Lainey Wilson.
Okay.
Pretty cool. Met her. We became friends in 2020.
Grace will freak out.
Her.
I can't. There's reasons I'd freak out over Lainey Wilson
Dude.
too, but I can't say in
Hey,
this room.
so she got us tickets to when she came to the Woodlands. It was her, Hardy, and Aldine. Dude, if I was Aldine, I would not let that guy open for me.
No.
Hardy killed it, dude.
Killed it?
Like, you forgot Aldine was coming out. I'm telling you. It was
Dude.
that good of a show.
Hardy puts on a good show. I've heard.
He does.
Is this like post the new album he has? Was he doing like a lot of the songs from
No.
his new album? Okay.
This was a year and a half ago. This
Okay.
was before Waiting the Truck, all that. It was
Okay.
before all that stuff. So, like,
Because I know he just released
It was-
like the Crow. And,
nope, it wasn't. It was before that album.
Okay, because that album
Yes.
slaps.
But, dude, I'm telling you.
I love it.
Dude, I'd love to go to a concert with that album.
He
being
was
played.
unreal live, dude.
I bet.
Golly. And
I
he
bet.
played, he played all kind of stuff. Then he played some heavy stuff. He played some rock stuff. He covered some rock tunes. I can't remember which ones they were, but he covered like I think he did a Puddle of Mud song. He did like some other stuff, which was cool.
One thing I'm starting to learn too is like I grew up going to a lot of concerts. I saw a lot of people growing up, and I remember going to some of them and just being like, they don't sound too great in concert. And like that is the case for a lot of people. And so I've tried to become less insecure if I have a little slip up, because I know it's like super, super normal, but like I'm so hard on myself when I perform.
Yeah.
I want to be perfect. And I think it's because I listen to guys like Chris Stapleton, because I don't know if you've ever heard him live or not.
I went to see him at the rodeo this year again.
Yes.
I've seen him like 4 times.
I've seen him 3. I've seen him at the radio twice. And then the coolest story I probably ever have, right behind my American Idol story. You can go to Chris Stapleton's TikTok page right now. Like 3 or 4 of my videos are in his liked videos. Because of that, the All American Roadshow, which is his tour, sent me a message on Instagram, and they were like, "Chris loves your shit, man." They're like, "We want you." So this is one of the coolest stories and one of the most tragic stories ever. "We want you to come out to the Woodlands to our show next time we're in Houston. And I was like, I'd love to. Give me 8 tickets because I got 8 people that want to go. I'm like, sweet. I forget my wallet in Beaumont, and it has my ID in it, and they need my ID to know it's me.
For will call?
And so I'm like, can y'all please be okay with a picture of my ID? And they're like, yeah. And so I showed them. I'm like, there's probably only going to be one Trey from the Fe that comes up here and asks for these tickets anyway. It's about 7:15, and he comes on around 8. So when we get there, I think L King is performing. And I opened up my tickets, and there's this envelope in there that reads, welcome to the All-American Roadshow. We'd like to invite you to join us in the 78th Lounge. And I'm like, where's the 78th Lounge at? And security was like, it's that room right there, but it just closed at 6:45. I said, what's the 78th Lounge? Oh, that's the green room. That's where all the artists hang out at before they go on stage.
Mind you, he rode with his friends. Me, his mom, sister, her boyfriend, and my mom all rode together, and we got there.
I got there on time. Yeah.
Good.
So they got
late-
there on time, and then
You're late
missed
to
out.
everything.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah,
it's
you're
a
late to
problem.
a date. You're
It's a
late
problem.
to see Chris
I get
Stapleton.
that from my mama. I get that from my mom. My mom would be late to her own funeral.
If you got to make a mentor in this podcast, don't let it be Dale.
No.
I'm on time. I'm on time for everything.
You are on time for everything, but good God, organization here.
I'm 100 miles an hour all the time.
We do pretty good for like normal things. It's always like the important
big-
things that we're
Yeah.
late for.
And it's usually
It's him.
Yeah, it's usually me. She's ready before.
like, I will be ready to go walk out the house 2 hours before we
Hey, when you got a mullet like that,
I was
there's no
about to
loss.
say. It's like
That's the outlaw in him.
no, dude. It's showering before having a mullet and then after. It's like I had to learn how to shower with a mullet. It's like there's certain procedures into going to washing long hair, and it's like something I had to learn. So like 10-minute showers are now 30-minute showers just because I have to
You got a lot of
take
mane
care of the
there.
hair, man. Yeah, that was probably the best thing I've ever done is grow this mullet.
Yeah,
I said that on American Idol too.
helps your persona.
Well, man, like I'll never forget the day I grew it out, and the main reason I grew it out was because no barbershop was open during COVID.
Yeah,
And so my hair got really, really, really long, and my buddy was like, "Man, you look good with a mullet," and screw it. So I went and got just the shape cut.
yeah.
And for the first couple of months, it was ugly, man. It was a bad
Awkward
looking
stages.
mullet.
Yeah,
Yeah, just that short haired mullet stage is just looking rough. But now I have it exactly where I want it. It's probably a little bit longer than I want it right now.
So when did you graduate from?
19. So I graduated 2019 from Santa Fe. She graduated 2019 from Alvin.
Okay.
So she actually lived not that far from me. Just the way the city plan is, it's like her side of the town went to Alvin ISD,
Yeah.
and this side of the town.
So you ever get tired of talking about your story?
No, and I'll talk about it on here
I was curious.
too.
We were going to ask you for what we did. We were just curious to see. I remember I was in Beaumont that day playing a golf tournament for work.
Really?
And I got a phone call from my wife or somebody let me know what's going on. And so, which is crazy because, you know, I got kids that they're 12 and 10 now, but they were in schools over here in League City, but it can happen anywhere. I mean, obviously, now.
So first off, I'd like to say this. Just because I went through a school shooting or any mass shooting whatsoever doesn't mean I'm an advocate against guns.
Yeah.
I grew up in Texas.
Yeah.
I obviously like to shoot guns.
Yeah.
Guns aren't the bad people.
The reason I say that is because after my audition aired, a lot of people took it the wrong way as to what the message I was trying to spread. And probably a lot of that had to do with the way Katie reacted.
Yeah, I can see that.
But that's why I say just because I'm a survivor doesn't mean
Yeah.
I don't support the Second Amendment. So I could tell the story from the second I woke up. I remember stopping into the gas station by the high school. They had really, really good breakfast burritos. And I got the good breakfast burritos, man. And
I love that.
I got 2, and I went to go pay, and the lady was like, no. And I was like, okay. So my buddy had a big red truck, massive red truck, the tallest truck in the parking lot. And that's saying a lot for Santa Fe.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah,
I don't think people
for
understand the Santa Fe.
No, dude. A huge truck. And we always hung out in it before, all of our buddies, just because it was the big truck. They always hung out at it. And it was an abnormal morning just because a lot of people weren't there. They had a Schlitterbahn field trip the day before. And a lot of people don't go to school the Friday after a field trip.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, school was over in less than a week.
Yeah.
So it was like that last Friday, because we get out on the Thursday.
Yeah.
So it was like that last Friday. It's about the time where the teachers start to use up their sick days. So my art teacher wasn't there. The other art teacher was. So 7:10, I think the bell rings. We're wrapping up an art project. It's the last day to finish it. Like 7:28, I stood up to go get some colored pencils or something to finish my project. And like I pull my chair out to go sit back down, and boom.
Oh.
And at first, it's not a gun. Ain't no way that's a gun, dude. Ain't no way. What it sounded like was somebody like took a 2x4 and
slapped them together,
hit the side of like the big dumpster. And the thing is, there was a dumpster right outside the art rooms.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, maybe the dump truck came by and like it slipped out of the holders and it hit the ground or something. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
And then you heard boom again. Oh, that's a gun. So that part right there was such a blur, just because I remember hearing the first shot and everybody having that same reaction, like just kind of staying still.
Yeah. And
then second shot, act. So the first thing I did was, so the shots are coming from the art room next to mine. So the art rooms are like this. Here's art room 1, and here's art room 2. And so they're coming from this room. So we don't see the shooter. We don't see any action going on whatsoever. We just hear. So the first thing we do is we rush to the back door, of the art room. Pretty big art room. Art rooms are big.
Yeah.
They're big rooms. It's locked. And the only person that has a key would be my art teacher, who wasn't there that day. So looking back on it now, there's always survivor guilt and stuff. I probably could have taken a chair and hit in that back glass door. But there's nothing that you can tell yourself to prepare for something like that.
No.
And like I said, everybody's got a plan till, like I said.
No, dude, it's wild. We even had a plan, because we always talked about it. We were Santa Fe it's a crazy town, man. A lot of people have guns.
Yeah.
And to the point where, like, growing up as a kid, we were like, if a school shooting ever happened here, it wouldn't last a long time at all, because some crazy redneck would just show up with another gun and take them down. But if that wasn't the case, one of these crazy redneck kids would go after them and stuff. And then I remember one year I was like, if something like that were to happen, it'd be hard for them to stop him if he came over here to the art rooms, because the art rooms were so far away from everything else. It's a strangely constructed school.
Huh.
The art rooms and the ag department rooms are pretty far away from everything else.
Okay.
So a lot of action going on, but we don't see it. We just hear it. And the back door won't open. And like the first thing I do is I crouch under a table. And I'm there for less than 5 seconds before I'm like, this ain't going to work. I was like, I'm an open target right now. Got to get up and move. For some reason, I remember seeing, so there's 2 closets and the art rooms, and they're both shared by each art room. So one is like, you know what a kiln is, where you heat up
For pots.
Yeah, for pots and clay and stuff like that. There's a kiln closet, and there's a supply closet where they keep like brooms, paper, pencils, stuff like that. And there's 2 doors to each room. One door for one art room, and then one door for the other art room. So as I'm standing up, I see the kiln closet full of people, and somebody shut that door, so I can't go into that closet. And a closet full of people in the first closet, but the door hadn't been shut yet. So I crawled in there, and the first thing I do is I grab the handle, and I go to shut the door, and right before I shut the door, I can see in the crack the shooter coming up to our entryway. So I shut the door. The first thing I do is I grab the handle, and I put my body against it. And man, I can't even describe what I'm feeling as far as adrenaline. So I put myself up against the door, hold the handle, and a young man named Christian Riley Garcia, he was like, he didn't really say anything, but he kind of looked at me, and I could understand what he was telling me. He was telling me to back away from the door. He's got it. And so I backed away from the door, and he put himself in the exact same position that I was in. I grab a broom, and I like kind of point it towards the door, and I don't know what I'm going to do with a broom, but that's just how I act. And eventually something clicked in somebody's head in that closet to open up the other side of the closet.
Okay.
Because the shooter is now. So I was telling her this, I think, the other day. Looking back on it now, it was pretty damn ballsy to leave that closet. We didn't know what was going on in that other classroom. We didn't know if there was 2 people, if there was 1. All we knew is if we stayed in this closet, we probably wouldn't get out of here alive. And so we opened up the closet, and unfortunately, we see a lot of aftermath from what happened in the first room. It wasn't as rough as what happened in my room. I didn't see any of that. But there was a couple bodies, recognizable bodies. We run out the front door of the second art room. And like I said, it's far away from everything else. It's a long hallway, dude. And again, I say it's ballsy because I don't know if I walk out of this door, homeboys behind me.
Or more people.
Yeah, or more people, you know.
It's ballsy to stay, though, too.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So I run down, and like halfway through me running, I'm like, it kicks in my head where I'm like, I read something where if you're running from a shooter, you want to run in a zigzag pattern. And so I run in a zigzag pattern, get to the end of the hall. There's a back door to the theater. So you run through the theater, fly out those back doors, and I immediately puke up my breakfast tacos. After realizing what I just did. It was like, as soon as that door closed behind me, I just survived a school shooting.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I've survived yet. I see a kid hobbling on one leg, and his buddy has his arm around him trying to help him hobble. I get on the other side of the guy. He has like his knee is completely blown out, and he's like a freshman, dude. And we set him on a bench. Ambulance pulls up immediately. The first thing I'm thinking is I'm going to go to my buddy's truck, my buddy's giant truck. I'm going to go there because I'm sure he is right behind me. He's going to meet me out here, and we're going to go home. But I immediately feel this terrible, terrible, terrible feeling in my stomach. And like, it's like a stabbing feeling. And I'm like, did I get shot? And I don't even know. And so I look, and I'm fine. I'm still shaking. But like the feeling on my stomach, it's like it felt like I had been stabbed. Like it was just sharp. And I guess it was just because my body was shaking so much at one point, and then it stopped. Similar to like just working out all day and then just going home. Your body feels super. That's what it felt like.
Your nervous system's all jacked up.
Yeah. So as I'm leaning up against my buddy's truck, I'm like, I'm going to call him. and see if he's okay. I go to grab my phone and it's not there. I left my phone sitting at my table in my art room. So when the news breaks out that there is a shooting and it's coming from the art rooms, everybody that I know and their mother are blowing up my phone, and I'm not answering because I don't have my phone.
Your poor parents, man.
No, it was rough. It was rough. Eventually, I get a hold of a student. So from the truck, police officer finds me laying there, and he's pointing his weapon at me because he don't know.
Everybody
don't know. So he's drawing on me. Who are you? Where are you coming from? I'm like, I'm from one of the art rooms. I'm just a student. Oh, yeah, everybody, all the students need to meet at the field house. So we go to the field house, and I meet a kid up there who has his phone. A lot of kids left their phones in the art room, and I guess it's because, like, it's instinct to pull it out and leave it sitting there. And just within the chaos, you forgot to grab it. I didn't grab anything. I had a backpack and everything. So we're in the field house, and the ambulance and the ambulance and life flight are parked like quiet and like not that many feet in front of us. And I'm just counting bodies, dude. And I'm like, so it gets to a point where I kind of lose track, and I'm like, there's no damn way that many people died. And I get home. Eventually we get on a bus, and we get home, and I'm shooken up, man. At this point, like I got a glimpse of the shooter, but I didn't know who it was.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, they were saying his name, and I'm blanking out, and I'm like, I don't know who that is. And he comes on TV, and I'm like, damn, that's why he shot up the school, because nobody knows who that is. But when I saw his picture, I knew who he was.
Yeah.
I was like, I had several classes with this kid.
Wow.
Nobody talked to him. He was an outcast. And ever since that, I've been real good at like finding people like that.
Yeah. And try to include them. Yeah.
Yeah. Just try to include them, you know? But yeah, no, it was surprising to hear, when I saw his face. And then at this time, it's like 2 confirmed dead, several missing. And again, I don't have my phone. I had a lot of friends in art room, and a lot of friends. And the good thing was, like I said, a lot of people weren't there.
Yeah.
So there's a select few people I'm really concerned about. My buddy Hunter, he was in the room, and my buddy Chase and our buddy Chris Stone, we all sat at the same table. Hunter's dad saw me in the field house. Hunter is like 6'6", 325, big brute.
Big old boy.
He was offensive lineman for varsity football. And his dad is built the exact same way, and he's picking me up by my shoulders and shaking me. Where is my son? Where is my son? He's angry, man. I get it. And so I'm not the type of person to say, your son's fine. I saw him. I told him, I was like, Hunter's a big boy. I said, if there was a way out of that closet, because I saw him go into the cow closet. I said, if there was a way to get out of that closet, I guarantee you Hunter got out. I was like, if there wasn't a way to get out of that closet, I guarantee you Hunter did everything he could to get out and protect everybody else in there. Hunter got out, but he held Chris Stone as he took his last breaths. Chris Stone didn't make it. So, and then I hear Chase. I hear my butt, like some guys like, I saw Chase Yarbrough get shot. I saw Chase Yarbrough bleeding from the face. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, he got shot in the face. And I'm like, so me hearing my friend just got shot in the face, I'm like, that's the worst thing ever. He is not okay. It was birdshot. And so he just kind of got peppered. But he's fine. Like no major damage, no major scar tissue or anything like that. I hang out with him every weekend. He's a really good buddy of mine. And then just kind of hanging out all day at the house. Just every 20 minutes, a new name comes across. A new name comes across. New name comes across. And and Chris Stone was tough. Chris Stone was real tough. But when I saw Christian Riley Garcia come across the TV, that sucked, because he's the kid that stepped up for me in the closet.
Yeah.
And it's like, looking back on my journey right now that I'm going through, at the time I was really questioning why.
Yeah.
And I'm a religious man, you know, and it didn't make any sense to me. I was like, I took full responsibility to close that door and put my body up against it, and I was okay with that. But for some reason, my God was not okay with that.
Yeah.
And the journey I'm going through right now has to be
the
reason I survived.
Sure. The reason why you're here, you know?
Which is why American Idol was so cool, because they let me tell that story.
Yeah.
They let me tell that story, and I think they just, even though it might have, which I don't know if this is true, it might have had something to do with how far I went in the show. I think American Idol fell in love with the fact that a guy like me that went through such a terrible thing came out shining such a bright light and such a positive energy and a damn good voice, and they were all about it. And I think my journey on American Idol was supposed to last a little bit longer. So either two things happened. What I think happened was I absolutely bombed my performance. I did. There's no doubt that I did. What happened was, it's called Showstopper Round. And I was like, I want to come out here and do a showstopper, you know what I mean?
That's the first time you played with a band, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I was like, I want to come out here and I want to put on a showstopper. And one of my favorite hard rock songs is a song called Waiting on the Thunder by Blackberry Smoke. And they're like a southern rock band similar to Whiskey Myers.
Yep. I've heard them.
And I was like, yeah, I'm going to sing this song. And so I rehearsed it the night before, and like third time through me rehearsing it, my voice is like gone. And so I'm like, I'm trying too hard on this song. My voice is straining too hard. This isn't a song that I meant to sing just yet. But nobody's giving me negative feedback. Nobody, not the producers, not the song lady, not the piano players. Everybody's like, you good, you sound great, man, you sound great. And I was like, maybe like it's just good enough to get me to the next round, you know. And like I said, I learned the hard way. Every single time I learned the hard way. I should have changed that song, because when I got on stage, I hit the verse just right, perfect pitch, perfect tone. Chorus comes in, and I can't hear myself. And all I hear is the backup singers and the band, and the backup singers are throwing me off. I was like, they're not on key. And it was bad, man. It was really bad. And they showed that on TV, and they showed me getting eliminated because of it. And even the comments were like, man, it wasn't even that bad of a performance. It wasn't that bad. There was a lot of people that were worse than that. And I was like, yeah, I don't know, man. It's just either I bombed my performance, or somebody had my back there, and they understood that I had gotten enough exposure.
Yeah.
And that they wanted me to go out there and be free, not held back by any.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways you could look at that, but like I said, everything happens for a reason, man.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's going to be so many doors open up for you. I'm sure they already have.
Yeah.
But dude, yeah.
In my opinion, you got there on talent, 100%.
Yeah.
I think the story is just a little bit of icing on the cake, just to, for as far as not advocacy, but, speaking about it, that, it's obviously an issue in today's society. And
if you notice on Idol, everybody has a story.
Yeah.
It's like you can look at the top 5 right now, and there's some background sob story.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Hollywood part of it, man. And it's kind of sad, because there's contestants that outsang me, every day, all day long, and they can't make it past the Zoom audition because they don't have a story.
Yeah.
So that definitely helps.
I mean, it is a show.
But yeah, it's a show, but they're not going to get somebody who sucks, and then they're like, but he has a good story.
Yeah,
Exactly.
for sure.
Yeah.
No, that's a big part of it, man. Like I said, it is a production.
Yeah.
But you're a cool kid. You can sing good. You had a story. You're like, dude, this is like the perfect storm for American Idol.
Yeah.
And Grab America. And
Which is honestly why I thought I'd make it a little bit farther than that. But like, I firmly believe everything happens for a reason, and I think a lot of good is going to come out of it.
So was that your junior year?
That was my junior year.
That was junior
year?
year?
That was my junior year. Yeah. So we went back our senior year.
Okay.
And we finished out the school year.
Talk about a town coming together, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty neat, man. It really was.
But that was one thing that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, just kind of like the comeback.
Yeah, I mean, so I went to school at Clear Creek High School, obviously way before you
I
were
went
in high
to
school.
Creek Intermediate in 6th grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I moved to Santa Fe in 7th grade.
So, what people kind of the light shine on Santa Fe is, a lot of it was generalizing of what Santa Fe was, right? And and you said it on the Idol, there was a bad light casted upon it. Well, for me in high school, I mean, Santa Fe's 10 miles from here. There was such a disconnect from any place outside of Santa Fe. I knew nobody from Santa Fe. We didn't play sports together. I didn't have any friends that had friends from Santa Fe, and we're literally down the road, right?
Yeah.
But we did know people from Clear Lake and from Friendswood and all of that. One thing that was impactful for me from all the horrible things that happened was it was like a transition from a surrounding area to go and to be supportive of a community that ultimately, as me growing up, overlooked because it wasn't there. It is a farm town. It is, we can call it redneck, whatever you'd like. And I think it really opened up to put Santa Fe within, as another part of.
Well, they put their arms around
area.
them.
Yeah.
Santa Fe is one of the most misunderstood towns.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we really are a bunch of sweethearts, man. Yeah. But it's crazy because that's the thing is like we're sweethearts, but we're only sweethearts to each other.
Yeah.
Like outside of that, it's like I don't want to say hateful, but like just
you got a chip on your shoulder.
There is a certain stigma in Santa Fe where like surrounding areas are just kind of like not good enough for us.
Yeah.
And it's not fancy. It's like almost.
I'll be honest, I was just scared to death.
Yeah, well,
it's not that I think you weren't good enough. I was just scared. No,
man,
to death.
it's like I said, it's misunderstood. And when I said bad rap, a couple people attacked me for that. They're like, that was one of the best comebacks I've ever seen after such a tragedy and stuff like that. I was like, I'm talking about for the kids.
Yeah.
I was like, and just when you look up Santa Fe on Google.
Yeah.
Or when somebody talks about Santa Fe.
It's doom and gloom, man.
I was tired of being like, hey, where'd you grow up? Santa Fe. Oh. It's like, instead of that, I want it to be like, hey, that's where Trey from the Fe's from.
Yeah.
Like, that's really cool. And so that's kind of the whole goal is just to always remember what happened, but forget the negativity. Like this, like I said, I referred it to like a dark cloud. And it's just like, it just feels like it's been hovering over Santa Fe. Like you said, to where people don't even want to go there anymore. Yeah. Like they'd rather drive down 517 to get to Alvin instead of Highway 6 just because they don't want to drive through Santa Fe. And
I remember a cool thing. I went and seen Justin Timberlake like a month or two later when he came to Houston.
Yep.
And he had that Santa Fe strong shirt on. I got that picture. We were close. I got that picture still. That was awesome.
We were looking at one of the victims who was shot. She survived, but on her Facebook page.
He went to the hospital.
Yeah, she was laying in a hospital bed, and Justin Timberlake was posted up.
That's awesome.
I love Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, JJ Watt too. So JJ Watt, I think he paid for the funerals of all the victims.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it's kind of funny. The Stone family will think so too. Chris was a diehard Cowboys fan. And it was just kind of funny that JJ Watt was
Yeah.
paying for a really, really expensive Cowboys casket. But it was really, really cool. DeMarcus Ware even came on the big screen during Chris's funeral. And gave a message.
That's cool.
But yeah, no, JJ Watt's a solid guy. My buddy Chase, who I hang out with all the time, he just pulled up to his house there in Santa Fe. His jacked up truck just pulled up to Chase's house. JJ Watt did.
Yeah.
Yeah, super cool guy. Super cool
That's
guy.
awesome. He seems like a cool, genuine dude.
Yeah.
You can tell somebody's good whenever they don't play for this team anymore, and everybody
they're still
loves the
Oh,
guy.
yeah,
they're
dude.
still,
And
yeah.
he still gives back to the city of Houston. I mean, you know,
I don't think he does anything for Arizona. I don't know.
no, he retired. He's
I
out
think he
now.
went and caught a paycheck.
Yeah, no, he's JJ Watt and
I
Alex
gotta get him on
Bregman
the show.
Dude.
and then you got Mattress Mac,
Yeah.
and then Paul Wall. Those are like the biggest advocates of Houston.
That's
man.
our Mount Rushmore of Houston.
Dude, that really is.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
We're
great.
gonna find a spot for old Trey from the Fe up there.
Dude, you know what? You already got a spot. You just
Another petition we got.
Yeah,
we got a petition for you.
It's funny because Mattress Mac, like, because I was a mattress salesman, everybody asked me about Mattress Mac, and I met Mac at
Oh, really?
He came to a benefit after the shooting.
That's cool.
Mattress Mac is one of the coolest guys
bet.
ever, dude.
Heard about that
He's
from
like,
everybody.
He's like
He's a
exactly.
G, man.
Well, he's just opposite from what you see in the commercials, man.
Yeah.
Like you expect free today.
Yeah.
And like he's chill, he's laid back, he's a super cool guy. We just went to a benefit for animals where we painted with a puppy and we autographed it and they auctioned it off.
Oh,
and
cool.
Mattress Mac was one of them. So not only is he a great guy, but he's also a betting machine, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he just dropped 1.2 million
Hedging
into
some bets, dude.
at the,
So doesn't he have the record for the biggest bet placed and won?
yeah.
Oh, that's
10 million and got back 75.
yeah. He plays 10 million on the Astros. So he's very smart about it though.
Oh yeah, no, he's doing well.
So this is what he does. It's all a sales strategy.
He hedges it.
We'll see these commercials, right? If the team from Tampa Bay beats the team from Kansas City, you get your furniture free. But then he places a big bet on Kansas City to win.
Yep.
So that way, if Kansas City does win, he gets this big ass bet, and everybody gets free furniture. And if they lose, everybody got to pay for their shit.
Yeah.
I remember when the Astros won the world, they lost the World Series.
That meme that
to
went
the
out there.
Nationals, and he was like, "Yeah, come pay for your shit today. You didn't get free shit. You gotta get it today."
Man, I tell you what though, he might also get those insurance policies. I mean, just like if you get a hole in one and there's
Yeah.
a vehicle out there,
Yeah.
every car dealer in the world that puts a vehicle out on a par 3
They
hole,
get full MSRP on it.
they absolutely want you to make the hole in one. They love it.
Yeah, I bet.
So
So what do you do for fun besides singing, man?
Man, so I used to be super active as a kid and fishing. I fished a lot as a kid. I've kind of slowed down. I've really just been adulting, for the past 4 years.
Yeah.
Just like kind of sticking to the grind, working and stuff. Not really finding things in between to do for fun. But I'm a real social guy, man. I could hang out with somebody every day.
I like being around people.
Yes, I just love being
I
around
like the
people.
audience.
It makes me sad when I'm not.
I know.
And it's like, because I don't work anymore, and we share a vehicle. She has a full-time job, and I do get stuck at the house sometimes, which is really good for me and my guitar playing.
yeah.
That's kind of how I've caught on so quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, if I take any opportunity to hang out with somebody. So yeah, man, I'm just that's kind of what I do. Even if we go over there to hang, play guitar or just talk for hours, hanging out with buddies is kind of just what I do in my pastime.
Yeah.
We need to get you into golf.
Man,
We play a lot of golf. It's a good hang.
I think Joe Rogan said this. He's like, I hate golf because I know I'd be addicted.
He's got
to
so many
it.
things addicted already. He's like,
Yeah.
because I know I would get addicted to it if I played it.
Because Jamie's
And
a big
that,
golfer.
That would probably happen for me. I'm not great at golf, man.
Nobody
I'm not
is.
great. I'm really bad at putting. Like we go to Top Golf and I embarrass myself every time. I'm afraid I'm gonna lose the grip of the thing whenever I swing. But I'm a huge sports guy. I hardly miss a UFC fight. I'm really big into football. Really big into football. When it comes to baseball, I usually only watch around playoff time.
Yeah.
But I keep up with the Astros.
You're a Cowboys fan?
Yeah, diehard Cowboys fan. Unfortunately, I have been my entire life. There's been quite a few times in the last couple of years where I've just thought about switching up, man. It's tough. It's tough. She can testify. It affects my life way too much.
It's how Cowboys fans are.
It affects my life way too much, man.
And they haven't won since you've been born.
No,
they haven't. But
At least I watched them with Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith. Like I grew up watching the Dynasty.
Tony Romo prepared us for years of misery with Dak Prescott.
I did like Romo. Romo's a hell of a golfer.
Yeah. Well, a lot of football players love playing golf.
I mean, Mahomes is a stud.
Mahomes, like Fitzgerald is like super good at golf.
He's good. Stephen Curry's amazing.
Yeah,
he's
great.
actually pro golfer status, I believe.
He's a plus.
Yeah,
that's another sport I like to watch in playoff mode is basketball.
Playoff basketball is a good time.
My team, I would have to say, would be the Phoenix Suns.
I like Devin Booker.
Well, they went to the finals. Who did they face? The Bucks like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
and they won. And I watched. Like that's when I really got into it. So ever since then, I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna root for the Suns now, and then it helps getting KD. That's a super solid signing. So they're my favorites to win right now. I've recently kind of gotten into wrestling.
I used to love wrestling.
Well,
like WWE.
Yeah. So when I was a kid, I was a huge fan of it, right? And
I didn't even know they still had that.
No, dude. So they do.
It's
so
huge.
it got really goofy.
UFC just bought it.
Yeah. It got really goofy for a while, to a point where
I grew up in the Attitude Era.
Yeah,
the Stone Cold.
That's when it was good, man. That's when it was good.
I was busy.
And when I grew up, it was Undertaker and Cena and stuff like that. And that's still a super good lineup, man. But it got goofy. it did,
Can't
man.
see me.
It got goofy for a while. But they're starting to pick back up here in the past couple.
I've been reading a lot
years.
online about the draft. It shook up a bunch of
Yeah,
stuff.
they just had the draft, and I don't watch SmackDown and Raw every week or anything like that.
Every once in a while, I turn on just to see what the storyline is.
Yeah.
I'll just kind of see.
Well, my thing is if I'm watching the pay-per-views, right? They describe the storyline before each match.
Oh, okay.
And so it's like I'm not going to waste my time because a lot of the Raw and SmackDown is a bunch of nobodies I've never heard of. And then you got like Roman.
They made it to where the pay-per-views are really that's what you got to watch.
The Roman Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, all those, Seth Rollins, man.
Cody Rhodes got a neck tattoo now. You see
Yes,
that?
yes. I love Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes has really helped me get back into wrestling. So I first kind of started watching it at last year's WrestleMania when they were in
Me and Trey From
Dallas.
the Fe are going to start a wrestling podcast.
Yeah, we will.
Dude, y'all do whatever you need to do. That's
You
fine.
ain't into wrestling?
I'm not gonna judge.
Look,
The idea of wrestling to me is, I'm glad people like it.
I'm the same way, dude. I'm the same way. The idea of wrestling to me, just grown men out there, buff grown men and tights. Playing with
I'm
each
here
other.
for it.
I'm kind of here for it too.
I love buff grown men in tights.
Logan Paul.
We're going to quote you on that.
Yeah, no.
Logan Paul's an awesome wrestler.
Logan Paul's a great wrestler.
Dude.
Logan Paul is a great wrestler.
High flyer.
Yeah. No, he
You
has
got to jump aboard, dude.
he has impressed you. Bad Bunny, he just wrestled over the weekend too.
Really?
Great wrestler.
Oh, I've seen that, dude.
Bad Bunny's a great wrestler.
The rapper?
He had a great.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got a great walk-ups too.
Is he a rapper or is he just a
He's a phenomenon.
Latino phenomenon?
Oh.
Hey, so one thing we do on the show, a little segment from our sponsor, Good Ranchers, is so we are known as like each other's doppelgangers. That's kind of how we became friends. We became mutual friends from other people, but that's kind of how this whole thing. That's why it's called Dale Not Dale.
So you're not Dale.
He's not Dale.
Yeah.
So
He had more celebrity status than I did, so we had to take his name.
hey, she knew who it was. Oh, dang!
And for the record, she knew who his sister-in-law is.
It's all good. I'm around the coach.
I have messages where I'm like, you watched Outdaughter, didn't you? And he's like, yeah. And I said, you know Uncle Dale? And she's like, no.
Damn.
Yeah.
I went and searched you up on Google.
She
said Uncle Dale from Outdaughter.
This makes my heart melt.
The first picture that popped up was you and Hazel.
Yep.
And I sent it to Trey, and I was like, oh yeah, this is the guy.
This makes my heart melt. You've completely recanted yourself from the 30 and 29-year-old comment earlier.
I still look younger than him. Hey, okay, so we like to ask people, like, so who is your celebrity doppelganger? Or who's somebody told you look like? Do you have anybody? And we have one for you.
Y'all have one?
Yeah.
We have one for you, yeah.
Okay.
We actually have two.
I actually use this app that I get some ideas from if I don't have like a dead set one. And
So
we got to cut that out. It came off from us.
doppelgangers. I've like celebrity.
Yeah.
Okay. I've seen so many people that look like me, especially since American Idol aired. I get a bunch of people that send me messages.
Celebrity. Who does everybody tell you look like?
Yeah, people have got to tell you look like somebody.
Who do they say? Because I sound like Chris. I don't look like Chris.
No, they were saying the guy from Stranger Things.
Oh, Dustin from Stranger Things. I never watched
I
Stranger
can
Things.
see that.
But
I don't even know what Stranger Things is.
Eugene from The Walking Dead. I don't know if y'all ever watched The
I
Walking
didn't
Dead.
watch The Walking Dead either.
Yeah, no,
I'm looking Eugene.
it's the mullet. It's the mullet. It's the mullet that I get compared to a lot. But it gets annoying. I'll have people, they'll send me a message and they're like, "This is my son.
He's got a mullet
and he
too.
looks just like you." Yeah.
Dude, I can see a little
Eugene.
bit.
So hey, when I put you in this, I was like, man, I was trying to, usually I can look at somebody and we kind of come up with somebody. One of the top ones that came up, like, oh my god, you do is Farva from Super Troopers.
Yeah.
Kevin Heffernan.
Yeah.
I need the mustache.
Rod Farva.
Yeah, Red Farva. I need the mustache,
Leader
man.
of Cola.
Him and Jack Black was another one that came up.
Jack Black?
I can
Okay.
see Jack
I respect
Black.
that.
I love Jack Black.
I love Jack Black a lot.
You need to do Peaches on.
No.
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that movie yet.
You haven't seen it?
No.
It's great.
We just watched Evil Dead, right?
Evil Dead. Or
Evil
Dead Rise.
Evil Dead Rise, the new Evil Dead movie.
I don't watch good movies.
So I'm a huge horror movie fan.
I'll do it.
But you won't catch me watching the bad ones. Like, I can't stand a bad horror movie. I know there's a lot of people out there and they're like, I love bad horror movies.
Oh, like the
cheesy
cheesy ones.
Yeah. But man, there's a lot of good storylines out there in the horror industry. And even if they're not true, I know a lot of them claim to be true.
Yeah.
Like there's their Conjuring movies. They're all based on true stories, but the people have been like debunked several times.
What's your all-time favorite horror movie?
That's tough. I love the Evil Dead franchise. I'll tell you one that freaked me out the most.
Oh, I love this.
Was probably the Butterfly Effect.
Okay.
I remember that.
Butterfly
Ashton
Effect
Kutcher.
almost screwed my life up.
Yeah.
No, like it was in college. I remember.
I've never seen that one.
It is one of those things.
It's twisted.
That is so. It's real.
Yeah.
That some of this stuff like can really go through somebody's brain. It's phenomenally done and written. And
It's
I remember
really good.
after it, I had a girlfriend at the time, and I was telling her like, I mean, this stuff is true. There
Mm-hmm.
really is a butterfly effect that can push one thing or another. It freaked me out, like emotionally.
Another thing that like really happened that freaked me out after they made a movie of it, the Amityville Horror with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Like, because that actually happened.
Like that,
Yeah.
like that Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that stuff freaked me out because that's some really weird people that can do that shit.
Yes.
Like, that's the freaky stuff.
Yeah. No.
Like House of a Thousand
I'm
Corpses.
Like
obsessed
The
with it.
Ring, that don't
I
scare
love
me.
me some Rob Zombie movies,
Dude,
dude.
he's great.
Like
great.
The Devil's Rejects is probably my favorite
Yep.
one because at the end of it, everybody's just getting shot down while Freebird's playing.
Yes.
And it's so beautiful.
Oh yes, it
It's
is.
so beautiful.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, great movie.
Dude, that's great.
I don't like scary movies.
She's a huge fan of like true crime and stuff.
Yeah.
And so she'll get me hooked on like the documentaries.
Yeah.
Like that Dahmer documentary that came out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that couldn't like make it past the second
I never
episode.
watched it. I just never did.
There's points in it where it got a little weird. I thought it was interesting for sure.
Yeah.
I do not think that they captured how sick he really was.
No. They did a good job at capturing how sick he was,
Yeah.
but like no.
They didn't dive. They couldn't deep dive in.
They
it.
couldn't.
No.
They
Too much
couldn't.
TV.
There was a lot more in there.
That guy was
of his
gross.
dementedness
Yes.
that they did not cover.
Well, I think part of that was because with what they had already put in there, a lot of people were talking shit about it. How it was too gory.
Yeah.
and-
Now, because of what I've been through, stuff like that is very, very light to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't faze me whatsoever. And so, like, we did go see, like, Evil Dead Rise, and it was super, super bloody, super, super gory. And people were like, oh, that was gross, that was disgusting. And I'm like, there was no part in that movie that fazed me whatsoever.
Yeah. That's sad. That
No, it is sad, but, like, at the same time, I've almost become obsessed with it. So today, that really bad shooting happened on Saturday in Allen.
It's the outlet mall. Or something
Yeah,
like that.
and unfortunately, Twitter is really it's unhinged. You know, there's videos that you're not supposed to see.
Yeah.
When stuff like that happens, I go looking. There's a lot of people that can't handle it, but I can because I'm almost obsessed with it. I want to know why they did so and so, where they did so and so, and it's I'm not obsessed with it in a sick way. It's just I want to know, man.
Well, it's just how
I
you
wanna
cope,
know.
too. I mean,
Yeah,
like
it's how I cope.
it's a coping.
Another reason how I cope is with dark humor.
Yeah.
You could tell me a school shooting joke, and
same
I will
way.
laugh my ass off.
Yeah.
My wife had to put our dog down that we've had for 16 years, and I had to joke about it.
Yeah.
Literally 28 seconds after he took his last breath.
Yeah, you did.
And that is the way I cope. At funerals, I make jokes because that's how I
I don't
cope.
go to funerals. I don't go to funerals for that reason. I'm like, those memes where like you look at your cousin at a funeral and it's done.
Yeah.
Because you just start like, that's me.
Yeah.
I can't.
You
I
start
can't help
laughing.
myself.
I've gotten the giggles being a pallbearer. I've gotten the giggles on the
Yeah.
row and the whole pew's shaking. I mean, it's not good.
No, man, I'm good on that. That's why you ain't gonna catch me at a funeral. It's how I cope, though. Like you said, man, it's how I cope.
Yeah. It may be different, but you know what? If that's what works for
through
you,
comedy.
then
You been playing gigs?
Yeah, I got a super busy May. I got Big Axe Bar and Grill in Alvin.
We need because we want to go see you.
Yeah, so in Alvin, Texas, May 12th, I got Big Axe Bar and Grill.
Yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah, that's this Friday. May 20th.
8 to 10.
May 20th, we're doing Strawberry Festival in Pasadena.
Okay.
I'm actually doing the Pasadena Idol for that too. I'm a judge.
Oh, sweet.
That's really cool. So if my music career doesn't work out, it'd be really great if I could find a position where I'm a judge like that in singing competitions. I feel like I give really good feedback and I'm good with the contestants and stuff. And then May 27th, I have the fancy restaurant Murray's in Dickinson.
Okay, good. What day is that?
So May 27th.
we're going to be in Indianapolis.
We're going to
Indianapolis?
Indy 500.
Ooh.
One of our podcast sponsor, Good Ranchers, is taking us. They sponsor IndyCar.
Okay.
So we're going with them to be in the Penske suite.
Sweet.
Supposed to meet Shaq that weekend.
Babe, I
Shaq?
think you're going to that by yourself.
Huh? Oh yeah. You ain't going to no Indianapolis.
So okay, we'll get those. I'll get those dates from you again.
Okay.
I want to figure out a day to go for sure. Cause it'll be fun.
I was supposed to do League City Music Festival,
Yeah.
but that's just one
At
of
the
those.
park?
Yeah, that's one of those things I didn't really hop on. I know it's kind of too late to.
Clay Walker's been there. They've had a bunch
Yeah.
of there.
It used to be the Village Fair. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be League City Village Fair.
Yeah,
Then it changed to League City Music Festival.
I grew up in League City.
Okay.
Like I grew up in League City. I can't really tell you what part. We're like Walter Hall.
Yep.
No, not Walter Hall. Where the library is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Off Walker.
yeah.
Yep.
Like on the other side, where like Copycat is.
Yeah.
I live on that side.
Okay.
I used to.
It's all League City.
Yeah, Old League City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you move away to Beaumont after?
No, so I moved to Santa
Graduate?
Fe. So my parents divorced when I was too young to remember. my mom had custody of us for probably up until I was like 5 or 6. Then my dad got custody of us, and he met a woman when I was in 2008, and she became my stepmom, and that was a super, super abusive household that I lived in for like 6 years. So that's another thing I don't really talk about a lot is not only did I survive a school shooting, but like my childhood was pretty rough.
Yeah.
It was like there's worse abuse stories, but like one of the ones was like I was locked in a closet for 4 days. And
That's pretty bad.
so I was raised, like I said, I'm super, super religious, but it's tough for me to be because I grew up in a household that was like, do good or get your ass beat.
Yeah.
It's like that's how it was. Like sin. Like if you're gonna sin, well then we're gonna go beyond punishment, and it's just make life hell for you. So it was like that for 6 years, and up until the end, I kind of got smart with it. You know, I was like, I'm gonna piss off my dad and stepmom enough to a point where they think I'm just like the worst child ever and send me back to my mom.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. And so in the 7th grade, my mom got me, and she lived in Santa Fe at the time. And so from 7th grade up until high school. So I was homeschooled in 2nd and 3rd grade. 4th grade, 5th grade, I went to League City Elementary, and then I went to Clear Creek Intermediate in 6th grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had a lot going on to be a pretty well-adjusted kid, man. Like
Yeah.
you could have went the other way. Easy.
Yeah, it could have been bad. It could have been bad. And like I'm not bad on drugs, nothing like that. I hardly like to drink. Like I enjoy. It's funny. I like being drunk, but I don't like getting drunk.
Yeah.
Like if I could just take one drink and be fucked up all night.
Because you're impatient.
Yeah, I'm impatient. Well, and like I drink real fast too.
Yeah.
And you have to put me in the right setting. When I was in Los Angeles, I think I was drunk every 13 nights I was there, and then I come back home and I don't want to pick up a drink.
Yeah.
It's just it all depends, man. Now the night that my audition aired, I was toasted. I was so drunk, and I couldn't stop crying during my audition. Like everybody else around me is bawling their eyes out, and I'm just I'm a mess, dude, because I'm toasted. But nah, man, I'm a good kid, you know. I've never struggled with the law. I've never been arrested. I had a warrant out for my arrest over a ticket. That's it. It was like 2 days before I flew out to Vegas too. Yeah, so I'm living in Beaumont, and I drive to Santa Fe because my mom's going to take me to the airport the next morning. And my mom was like, "Hey, before you go, you got some mail you got to open up." I'm like, "Okay." I open it up, and
Certified
it's like,
mail.
"Yeah, you got a warrant out for your arrest in Galveston County." And I was like, "Good thing I'm ditching town tomorrow."
Yeah.
I went ahead and paid it off before I left. I didn't want it to look like I was running. So
Yeah.
I went ahead and paid it off before I left. But it was silly. I got a speeding ticket, and I did defensive driving, and I turned it in a day late.
Yeah.
And they didn't catch me a break.
Hey.
You should have never stopped.
No.
You just got to keep on going,
gotta
man.
keep going.
They'll get tired.
Damn the man.
I remember one time it was when
Tired.
it was when we were moving her to Beaumont. I had a bunch of her shit in my car, and I got pulled over by DPS, a state boy, on I-10 on my way to Beaumont, and I drive past him going 85 in a 65, and I don't have a front license plate, and he gets behind me, and I know he's trying to pull me over, but I play it off as like, oh, I guess he's trying to get homeboy in front of me or something. So I'm like trying to get out of his way,
Yeah,
and he just keeps following me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And eventually he pulls me over, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know, man. He's like, we caught you going 85, and I'm like, I'm not going to lie to you. I go about 85, 90 down this highway anyway. And he's like, I understand, but whenever you see one of us, slow down. And he's like, your front license plate is missing too. And I'm like, what?
I stole this car.
What? I had no idea. I had actually just got stopped by Kima PD like a couple months before that for the same reason.
Oh, they'll get you there.
Welcome
Kima's
to-
bad,
No,
man.
man.
I live in Hitchcock. Hitchcock's pretty bad too. But for a state boy, I was surprised. He let me off with a warning. And I was going 20 miles over the speed limit without. So he on my warning, it was speeding, driving without a front license plate, and the stupidest ticket I've ever seen. The address on my license read Santa Fe or Hitchcock, and I had been living in Beaumont for 6 months.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And they were like,
They can
"No,
write
you
you
have
up
to."
for that.
Yeah. They were like, "Change your license," and I never did because 6 months later I moved back to Santa Fe, and that's why I never did it because I didn't plan on staying in Beaumont.
Yeah.
And it's the same. It was my mom's house. She moved out of it, and we moved into it. That's the same address and everything.
So where you see yourself next 5 years, man? What's your plan? Anything planned?
You probably haven't even thought about it.
No, dude, that's all I think about, man. That's all I think about. What's next? And it sucks sometimes because I need to like focus on the now.
Yeah.
The goal is kind of two things. The ideal goal is to stay here in Texas and make a name for myself in the red dirt industry.
Yeah. It's a big industry, man.
Yeah, it really is, and it's where I feel like I belong with the kind of songs I write and the kind of songs I sing. And another thing I could do is my best buddies that I met on American Idol. Now, before I go on, that was the hardest part about American Idol. I could give a shit less about the competition.
Mm-hmm.
I really could. It sucked meeting the coolest people on earth.
And then leaving, yeah.
Especially coming from somebody who I didn't have a hard time making friends growing up. It's just when we graduated high school, we all went our own way.
Yeah.
And so for the past, I've been out of high school for 4 years. I've had like nobody. And I've met these wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. And they live all over the country. And even in Canada, the giant that lives in Canada. Yeah. But that was the worst part was just, it's like, man, I don't know if I'm ever going to see any of these guys again. A lot of those people live in Nashville.
Yeah.
So
Trying to make it, man.
If Texas doesn't work out for me, then Nashville it is. But I've had a lot of my buddies in Nashville just tell me, nah, man, stay in Texas.
Texas, yeah.
They're like, you're going to make it there.
You know the Savannah Bananas are?
Yeah.
So we had Jackson Olsen on here. And a cool thing for you being young as well, they had, so Jesse Cole is the guy that created it.
Okay.
We asked him, so, hey, what's your plan? What's your goals? He's like, man, you know what? I don't really have any right now. I'm just enjoying.
Yeah.
And so Jesse Cole had a good quote for you to hear. He said, follow your energy. That's what he said. That's what I've been doing. That's Jackson Cole. And that's kind of how, you're young, trying to figure it out. You got to kind of.
I feel like I'm naturally doing that.
You got to kind of go after, because a lot of things will come your way.
And I'm still trying to figure me out too, dude.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out who I want to be as an artist. And like I said, I try to base that off of how I would want to be treated by other artists.
Yeah.
For example, like how I would expect Coetzel to treat me, which Coetzel doesn't do anything with his fans whatsoever, other than like meet and greets and stuff. But you won't see him like replying to a comment or anything like that.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of it has to do with, just like I said, finding myself up there too, knowing what works, what doesn't work, what songs are good to sing. The struggle with doing gigs right now is I've only been playing the guitar for 4 months.
Yeah.
And I have had to force myself to learn. I have a 3-hour gig coming up, a 2-hour gig coming up, and I have to force myself to learn 2 and 3 hours worth of songs.
So you don't bring your guitar guy?
Well, he comes with me, man. But like I say, he comes from like a Slipknot, Metallica
just do
background.
Slipknot country style, dude.
Yeah,
Corey Taylor's a great songwriter.
I don't know. I couldn't give y'all an example. I don't know any Slipknot.
I know Slipknot songs.
But no, he's huge into that kind of stuff. He does most of the songs for me, and we just had a conversation where, like I was like, I'd like to play as little songs as possible. He was like, well, if that's the case, then I need to learn all the songs that you play. But at the same time, as an artist, I like to have a section where there's 5 to 7 songs where it's just me, a bar stool, and the mic and my guitar. He's a guitar player, but he likes to play on his electric. And it's kind of strange to hear a singer and one electric guitar. No bass, no drums, no nothing. So I'm like half a band right now. I have me and my guitar player. I have a drummer on standby. But my big thing is I want guys that are my age. I don't want some old head that knows how to play drums.
I was going to play for you too. Never mind.
You're like 30 something.
Yeah, you're way too old for me.
Yeah.
I'm around your wheelhouse.
You know how to play drums?
No, I wish. If I did, I'd be down, dude.
The only thing he beats on is his chest.
Yeah.
That's it, brother.
You know how to play drums?
Dude, I don't.
No.
But I know how to tap pins, and I can make them sound really good.
I'm a pretty good pen tapper.
Yeah. I was big into
it. Do y'all know any instruments?
Nah, dude.
No.
No.
I can do the mouth trumpet pretty well.
I love music, though.
Yes,
I've
I
got
love
an ear for
music so much.
I listen to all musics, man, from death metal to country to gospel to everything.
My go-to is Texas country.
So who's your favorite Texas country guy?
Co Wetzel. But I mean, even outside of that, because there are people who are because he's more
he's
grunge.
Getting more mainstream too, though.
So I'd have to say somebody like William Clark Green.
Yep.
Him or
so the guy, this company right here.
Yeah,
they're friends with him.
Okay,
they're buddies of mine. They're my neighbors.
Okay,
they're
cool.
Twins. So
I love William Clark Green to death.
Hook you up.
That'd be awesome.
The twins know.
I could have easily had a hookup with him and Giovanni and the Hired Guns. They played at the Galveston County Fair and Rodeo.
Oh, really?
And I played at the Galveston County Fair and Rodeo. And the entertainment guy, the guy that gets all the entertainment together, I just asked him, I was like, hey, if I'm not doing nothing, you think I could slide through on a Saturday night while Gio's here and be like, hey, can I take a shot with Gio? But I'm such a chill guy, man. I don't like being that person, which it has a lot to do with how composed I seemed on TV. It's because I didn't treat the judges like they were judges.
Yeah, you got to just,
And I treated them like they were people. And that was really, really cool because that gave me the opportunity to talk to Luke Bryan like we're talking right now.
Yeah.
Which was super, looking back on it, I talked to Luke Bryan, but in the moment, it was like I said, it was like talking to a guy, and we talked about hunting. We talked about growing up in Texas.
Well, he's a pretty normal dude.
Yeah, no, he's a pretty cool dude too. I'll sit here and I'll give my 3 honest opinions on the judges. Lionel Richie is the coolest guy I've ever met in my entire life. He would take the time to talk to you every time. So my audition's over. Colt Glover, my buddy that I saw get the golden ticket before I go in, he went like a couple people before me. So the filming that I have to do after I get a golden ticket, he still has to do too. They were kind of waiting on me. So they're taking us up to the room, and we're waiting on the elevator, and Luke Bryan comes around the corner, and he's like, good job, boys. And he gives us a fist bump and gets on the elevator. The next night, we go out for a date night, me and her, Caden Glover. So there's a Colt Glover who's from Texas and goes to OK State. And then there's a Caden Glover, not related whatsoever. Caden lives in West Virginia. Colt actually got TV time. His audition aired. Caden never got any audition time. But Caden and his girlfriend, we grew like a pretty strong bond with them while we were in Vegas. And we were going out for a date night. And the way the hotel was built, you have to go from your floor all the way down to the 3rd floor and then get on different elevators to go down to the lobby.
Where'd y'all stay, at Caesars?
Waldorf.
Okay.
Waldorf Astoria. Fancy ass hotel. Dude.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
The best damn breakfast I've ever had.
Killing
it.
The bacon. It's apple.
The bacon is like these thick applewood smoked. Fuck. I could tear it up. We had this one guy, he would carry, Bacon Avery is what we called him. He would carry around a to-go box full of that bacon. Because they would take, we'd eat breakfast, and like an hour later, they'd come back and get it. And that container would still be like halfway full of bacon. And so like we would take it to go, man. Great bacon.
Waldorf's great. That's
Waldorf is good.
Spot.
So yeah,
it's a Hilton property, so I love my Hilton.
We ended up on the 3rd floor, and the 3rd floor is where they hold the auditions. And while we're waiting on our elevator, we hear security come around the corner, and they're like, everybody hold. And so they like put their arms across our chest and stuff. And Grace is like, what the hell? And they're like, Mr. Ritchie's about to come through. And Grace goes, can we get on the elevator with him? And they're like, no, absolutely not. And so Lionel Richie comes around the corner. Grace opens her mouth and goes, Mr. Ritchie, they won't let us on the elevator with you. And he goes, that's the biggest crop of shit I've ever heard.
I love that.
And then he goes,
what a cool dude.
He goes, but let me tell you something. You guys are going to experience the fame that I'm going through right now. And you'll one day have to tell somebody they can't ride the elevator with you. So he got on the elevator and he freaking left, and it was like he gave us all a hug before he got on the elevator. Really cool guy. Luke Bryan's kind of the same way. He's like a perfect mix between Lionel Richie and Katy Perry. Like he's kind of distant, but at the same time, every now and then he would take his time to come over and talk to us. Katy Perry, on the other hand, I can't say too much about her because she did seem to have such a caring reaction to my story. And in the first round, Colt Glover got eliminated. They didn't show that or anything like that, but he was absolutely my best buddy that I made on the show, and it made me emotional when he got eliminated. I was surrounded by all of my friends, and I told him, I said, if Colt gets eliminated, I'm going to fucking cry. And he gets eliminated, and I knew he was too because of the line he was in. It was like,
you're like, oh, you seen
there's like 7 people in the line, and only 4 can go through, or something like that. And I'm like, I love Colt to death, man, but there's 4 people up there who did a lot better job. And I just got nervous, and the way they do it, they're like step forward, step forward, step forward, step forward.
Back row.
And
see you tomorrow.
Well, it's always different. Each time it's different. They say like first row.
It's the end of the road.
Good luck on your journey. Because you're going through the next round, and then like just stupid shit like that, man.
Cliffhanger too.
Yes, dude. So like that made me super, super emotional, and all 3 of the judges, because I sat this close to the judges' table. I mean, like this close. I mean, they'll see it on camera. I sat this close to Lionel Richie and Katy Perry, and then Luke Bryan was right next to him. And they saw I was getting them. Like somebody was up there singing their song, and all 3 judges were just looking at me because they could see I was still bawling. And so after she got done singing, they all stood up and they walked over to me, and they gave me like the biggest hug ever. And Luke Bryan walked up. He was like, Colt. And I was like, yeah. He's like, it'll be all right. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And then Katy Perry gave me like a really, really big hug. So I can't say much on Katy other than she was pretty distant with everybody.
Yeah.
I remember when I was talking to Luke Bryan, him and Katy did music for the Sims video game. Where they it was their songs, but it was in Sims language.
Yeah.
And I was asking him about that. I was like, is that actual recordings? And he goes, yes, me and Katy Perry actually did it. Ain't that right, Katy? And like Katy didn't say nothing back. I was like, well, I guess Katy don't want to talk right now. That's what Luke said. He goes, I guess Katy don't want to talk right now. He goes, but no, that was real. He goes, and the funny part is we practiced and rehearsed the Sims version for so long. I'd go do my shows and I'd be slipping up and saying flurmer slurmerderm instead of the actual words. I was like, that's awesome.
That's cool.
Luke Bryan seems like a cool cat.
Great guy, man.
I've always liked Luke Bryan.
We're going to get Katy Perry on next week and ask her what she thinks about you.
Yeah, do it. She'd talk a lot of shit about me. I know she would.
You think so?
No. No. I don't know. She's unpredictable. I love her to death, though. There's a lot of speculation on how legit her reaction was in my room. And I'm pretty open on it. I mean, I've never really said it publicly, but it felt strange. But
Facts.
I
love that,
I mean, dude, it was awkward. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Was.
It was
Yeah,
awkward.
very awkward.
You could tell it caught you off guard.
It was awkward. And to be honest with you, I don't think facts was the first word that came out of my mouth.
It probably was.
I can't remember. But that shit haunts me every day, man. I'll get on TikTok.
I've heard him say it soon.
Huh? I don't ever say it. No, I say facts a lot. But like, yeah, I remember her holding her face with her hands in there. And I had just got done saying something funny because I talked about the shooting. It was very, very awkward in there. So I cracked a joke.
Yeah.
And when I cracked the joke, I thought Katie was laughing.
She had her head.
So I said, "What you doing, Katie?" You can hear it in my audition. I said, "What you doing, Katie?" And she just goes off, and I'm like, "Oh, facts." That's all I could say, dude. That's all I could say. And the reason is everything she said was true. Mm-hmm. Even if they told her to say that, or if she took it upon herself to say it, everything she said was true. And there's, I don't want to say everything she said was true. Most of what she said I agreed with.
Yeah.
It was awkward coming from somebody who doesn't like. It's not that I don't like to tell the story. Is it just I saw you over there tearing up, and I'm like, I hate that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's just more of a. It's just crazy, man.
It is crazy.
It's just so close to home. We have kids.
Exactly. I mean, most people I tell that story to, they have that reaction.
Yeah.
But that reaction to me is awkward because I'm such a positive guy.
Yeah,
I don't like seeing people cry and stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's why typically if I do find myself telling the story, I'll find a way.
Well, that's why I can
change the
ask you if you
subject.
like I said, I want your talent to be the main thing
Yeah.
of what you do. The story is a part of your life, like it or not.
Yeah.
It is.
No.
So that's why I didn't want to just.
That will follow me.
We didn't want to,
forever.
like, that's why we asked you before we even started. You know, we didn't want to bring it up or whatever without your saying, and that's not why we wanted you on here. We wanted to just really chit chat with you and talk.
Yeah.
But it is part of your life, and dude, you're known from that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's that
It-
public knowledge,
I don't mind talking about it whatsoever. There's a lot of people who don't like talking about it, but I don't mind. If it brings awareness, then I'm cool with it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, dude, you got a chair anytime you want to come here and hang out.
Dude, this is a comfy spot.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Dude, it's funny listening to you. I love Rogan, and then the Luke Combs episode. He says, "Dude." Like I realize how many times he says, "Dude."
Dude,
You say, "Dude."
yeah.
I say, "Dude" a lot, but you say it, and you sound like
I
you
say,
it.
dude, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
Hey, I want you to do "Where the Wild Things Are" one day for me.
By Luke?
On Luke Combs' new album.
Yeah.
Dude,
So
that's a great song.
I was a huge Luke Combs fan when what's that the name of his first album? This One's For You.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that album I had on repeat for such a long time, and unfortunately, I think country radio has kind of pushed me away from Luke Combs, man. And it's the same effect with Morgan Wallen.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of both artists, but like they recently released albums.
Yep.
And I listened to both of them, and there's a lot of good songs on there. It's just country radio overplays artists so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got away from Luke for a while, and then this album.
It's a great album, dude.
This album,
It's
I
a
got
great
back
album.
on him, and this album has been
Like
dude, great.
Morgan's album is ballsy for having 36 songs on there, man.
But they all slap, man.
You know what's funny though is Zach Bryan released an album with like a fuck ton of songs on there too, and nobody gave him hell for it.
Yeah.
And then Morgan Wallen releases a 36 album.
Well,
and
'cause
they're
he
like,
went
that's
from
way too many songs.
24 songs and 36
Yeah.
songs. Like, yeah.
See, I look at it as I'm getting more bang for my buck.
No, you ain't kidding, dude.
I'm still paying $16.99 for an album.
If I had 36 songs to release, I'd release every single damn one of them,
Yeah.
dude.
Especially when they're all produced
Exactly.
and that well, and they're that well written.
And there wasn't a lot of songs on there that caught my eye, but like, man, there's some good songs on Morgan's new album. But I haven't always been a huge fan of Nashville country anyway.
Really?
Yeah.
Just well, I don't want to say Nashville. I want to say country radio, and it's
Yeah.
just because everything is overplayed a lot.
No, they do. They do, man. And then they decide who they want to make big, and then they do it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I feel like I'm somebody Nashville would see and be like, I want that guy to make records on the radio.
Yeah.
But like, Co Wetzel is huge, and you don't hear his stuff on the radio.
No.
And that's
Well, he's pretty wild boy too.
well, there's a reason they don't put him on the radio.
Yeah.
But for example, Morgan Wallen, I think this is one of the craziest stories ever. Morgan Wallen released his Dangerous album,
Yep.
and then he caught into some speculation like days after he released it. And I mean, it was a couple days after he released it, and country radio was like, we want nothing to do with Morgan after that. Sirius XM was like, we want nothing to do with
The
Morgan
people
Wallen
blew
after
it
that.
up.
But the Dangerous album was so damn good.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't cancel Morgan.
You couldn't.
They tried to, and you just couldn't, man.
Then he made the song with Lil Durk.
Yeah,
You
he
know?
made the song Lil Durk, and like everybody was like, "All right, it's cool now." They just everybody,
There you go. Bring them together. Oh,
Yeah, it's all good now.
He can't be racist.
Nah, he did a song with Lil Durk. That's such an unfortunate situation too. You know, Morgan Wallen's not racist. You know,
I
of
don't feel the
course.
same.
No.
They had a lot of people come out that were backing him, you know.
Yeah.
And they
Well, Joe Rogan went through the same thing.
Yeah,
so Joe
I know.
Rogan went through the same thing for saying it on the podcast.
that was a little bit after that because like I
And,
said that came out.
And I'm like I said, I'm a huge UFC fan, and several black UFC fighters would come out, and they're just like, Joe Rogan is one of the
Nah, he's-
humblest people I've ever met.
He seemed like a cool
No,
freaking dude.
It's the media narrative.
It's a word we shouldn't say,
I
but
mean-
Oh, yeah.
just because it comes out doesn't mean
Yeah.
anything, really.
Right.
If it's not coming from a place of hate, like I said, we shouldn't say the word, but if the word's not coming from a place of hate,
Yeah.
I think there should just be a quick slap on the wrist and then good. Like, other than that, I think they kind of blow it out of proportion a lot of the times.
Rogan faced it head on. I mean, I know they had that little bit of a weird time right behind it. I'm sure you're just trying to get your head wrapped around it and how to address it.
Yeah.
But he did it, man, and he's one of those guys you can't cancel him either. I mean,
No,
he's too big.
There's that, and plus,
And people understand him.
Spotify is a Swedish company. There's literally nothing you can do because if you get canceled in America, it doesn't matter. It's a Swedish-owned company.
Yeah.
They're still going to put it on their platform.
Especially if they pay him that much money.
I would love to go to Sweden.
Sweden would be cool.
I'd love to go on Joe Rogan show.
Joe Rogan keeps asking
Hey,
me to
man.
come here.
One
We're
day,
like, nah.
one day you get on there, man. It'd be awesome.
He's in Austin, man. I had a dream. So I've had two dreams that felt so real. And one, I was hanging out with Jelly Roll,
Yeah.
right?
In Austin.
Huh? No,
Yeah.
I don't know where we were, but me and her were hanging out with Jelly Roll, and like I remember she's having her own private conversation with Bunny, and me and it's almost like in an RV setting,
Yeah.
like his tour bus or something like that. And then there's another dream. This one is crazy because Joe Rogan's dogs are in it, and but like when I had this dream, I didn't know what Joe Rogan's dogs looked like. And we're hanging out at his house. It's a very fancy house. He cooks us up some steak, and we walk into his kitchen, and he has it cut up on his board. And he's like having me and her and a buddy of mine that was in the dream. We're just eating steak and talking, and then he's like, "All right, are you guys ready to go in the studio?" We're like, "Yeah." And then I wake up from the dream, but like it felt so real. Him and Jelly Roll, like that's crazy. But
Just keep manifesting it, dude.
yeah, nah, man, it's literal. Like I don't think literal dreams come true, but I do think it's very possible for me to end up on the Joe Rogan
Dude,
podcast one day.
You're on.
We're gonna have to petition for that.
Well, man,
Another
Fourth
petition.
one.
Yeah.
every one of his podcasts are 3 hours long, and I don't know how long we've been sitting here,
Dude, we're at 2 hours and 23 minutes.
but I could have a conversation with Joe Rogan
Oh yeah.
just based on things I've done in the past and UFC. Like I could talk UFC with Joe
Yeah.
all day long.
Yeah.
man.
Well, that
It's-
dude's so well versed on everything.
Yes.
It's like,
he's like the perfect interviewer.
Oh yeah.
Just
I mean,
perfect.
he's got one. It's just so many repetitions. Like you said, he's so many reps, and he's gotten so good at it. Because he talked about early on, you know. I mean, we're 40 this would be 44. Yeah.
Yeah,
You'll be our 44th one.
44th episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we've done one every week since last July 24th. But like I said, man, we're just trying to get better, trying to get people on and talk and just.
Alex Bregman's a big deal. That's a big deal to have on.
Bregman was cool,
I thought Austin Eckler was like, so today I was like, because you've had a hard time getting me to come out here, and so today I woke up and I'm like, all right, we're committed to it. We're doing it.
Yeah.
Let me look up homeboy. Let me see what he's about, what kind of questions he's going to ask me and stuff. And I get on, the first thing I see is Austin Eckler, and I'm like, oh shit, that's like somebody.
Yeah.
And so I click on it, and I've scrolled through your Instagram and seen where you had Alex and them on, and I watched it for a little bit, and I'm like, okay, I kind of get the swing of things. They're just guys talking.
Yeah. And we had we had Donnie Baker on.
You had Donnie on here?
Yeah.
Hey, me and Donnie text.
Yeah.
Was he like Donnie Baker, or was he the other guy?
Yes, dude, you want to talk about a hard interview.
So I hit him up first on Instagram.
Donnie Baker.
And he responds back to me. He's like, hell yeah, dude, let me talk to Opie and Anthony, make sure I'm good with it. And they were good, and I'll do it. And then he came back and said, hey, do you want me to be Donnie the whole time or Donnie and Ron? I'm like, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, I'll be Donnie, and then we'll talk as Ron after.
Yeah.
And then, like, so we went a couple times. It didn't work out, and we finally did it. And that day he texted me, hey, I'm 100% Donnie. Don't ask about Ron. Don't ask about how I came to this character. I'm in full character mode the whole time. I was like, fuck. So
he's funny, man.
Dude, he's that quick. Like, we asked him about the pitch clock, and he got pissed talking about baseball. We talked about all kind of stuff. And, like, he answered in full character without skipping a beat.
He's got
dude, he was so
he's
good.
got one of my favorite videos ever. I think his boat got repoed.
Oh yeah. During Shark Week.
You're just mad because your wife's a sea cow. That shit cracks me up.
Oh, dude,
He did good impersonations, man.
I'm not bad at impersonations.
He did Luke Bryan. He did Match or Smack.
I do voices.
What's your best voice you can do?
So I recently discovered I can do John Anik, the commentator at UFC.
Okay.
And he does his thing where like he'll exploit somebody's background. So for example, he'll be like, this. I don't want to take credit for this because there's a guy on TikTok who does this, but he'll be like, this fighter right here has struggled in the past with cocaine addiction, but 1 year sober. Cocaine Bear coming out this weekend on theaters. And it's like, or he'll be like, this
segue, huh?
This fighter's father tragically passed away last year by getting hit by a drunk driver. This fight clock is brought to you by Modelo, brewed for the fighting spirit.
Dude, hell yeah.
And like, that shit cracks me up.
That's good. I love that.
They say I do a good Patrick Mahomes too.
We just went to the game today, and we went out there, and I saw Tyreek, and I said, "Fuck it," and I threw it up there, and he didn't catch it. So on the next drive, I saw Travis down there, and I fuck it, and threw it. And he caught it, so we won the Super Bowl.
Dude, that is good.
We'll make some Instagram reels of this.
That was a little bit of I heard a little bit of Kermit the Frog and a little bit of Patrick Mahomes. Exactly how he sounds.
You seen that one where he's Kenny Powers and they have him spliced together, dude?
Kenny Powers. In that interview, he sounds just like Kenny Powers.
Exactly.
Man. I love Patrick Mahomes' voice.
Dude, man.
I was like, everything's perfect about him, and then he opens his mouth and is like, I get it.
He's not very marketable in that aspect of it.
I was like, I get it. That's awesome.
Oh man,
yeah, dude. I think we touched it all, man.
We did,
dude. We appreciate you coming in, man. I'm glad you took a chance on reading your DM from me and coming to hang out with us.
Yeah,
dude.
man.
It
was fun.
It's been a good hang, dude. Like I said, we're gonna definitely come see you. We'll bring the wives. My wife already told me, she's like, make sure you tell Trey I want to sing a song with him because she thinks she can sing.
Hey,
and she cannot.
Okay. Come on.
It's bad.
That's so rude.
She knows the songs that It's Your Love, though, so she can do that with you.
We can cut that out of here. But.
No, she doesn't.
She knows.
Every time she's on, we make her sing a song in or out of the episode.
I'm her biggest hype man she's got. I try to make her sing anywhere we can because
we go to your show. She
hates it.
Yeah. She may do a duet with you one of your shows.
Yeah,
and Kiki from Outdaughtered.
I run a pretty serious business when I'm on stage. I don't know, man.
You don't want that. Trust me.
No, okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say that your manager said you can't do it.
Okay. I got a so I don't have a manager right now. So Grace is like kind of a manager, but I actually do kind of have a manager. I'm going to shout her out real quick. Honeybee Boutique in Santa Fe.
Okay.
The owner and operator is Monica Taylor.
Okay.
She has no idea who I was, and I had no idea who she was until my audition aired. And she has been one of the she's the reason I have gigs now. The merch you guys got today is her.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
check out this merch.
This is Trey from the
This
Fe
is some Monica merch from Honeybee. She had these made for us.
Trey Lewis music. And it's autographed.
Yes.
That's yours? Oh, dope.
Dude.
Yeah. So that one's actually the woman's shirt. So we gave it to you for that reason.
Yes.
And
I'm good with that.
That was the more. That was the more manly shirt.
No, I'm good.
I'm just fucking with you.
I'm good with that, dude. I'm good with that.
It makes a lot of sense.
No,
Your build looked a little more feminine when I came in.
Oh, dude, I am. I have a feminine build.
I've always said if your hips are wider than your shoulders, it's not good.
Yeah. I see, like, man, I don't know, bro. I'm a big old boy. I've been a big old boy my whole life. I got really, really skinny 11th grade, the year of the shooting. I got really, really skinny that year. Because Harvey hit us real bad. I lived in Dickinson at the time.
You've been through some stuff, dude.
Dude, I could be on a 3-hour long podcast. Harvey hit us pretty bad. I was going to Santa Fe, but I lived in Dickinson with a friend, and we lived off of Dietz Road, and it was like Dietz. We had 5 feet of water in our house. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I've always been kind of a big boy my whole life, but it's in right now. The Luke Combs build.
Dad bods are in, bro.
Yes.
So Dale's going after.
That's why I kind of like wear this kind of stuff, man. Like Columbia. I worked at Columbia outside. Outside of high school, I worked there for like 2 years. Magellan, which Academy Sports and Outdoors. I guess they own Magellan now. They sent me a DM on Instagram and they sent me some Whataburger gear.
You need to get some. You ever see Burlebo?
No.
You seen there?
No.
The guy I know buddies with, he's in academies now. But I need to send you his, so I get you hooked up with him.
Also, Saltwater Soul, the hat that I'm wearing right now.
Where
they're based out of Galveston.
Okay.
They gave me a bunch of gear after one of my first gigs.
That's cool.
He'd be happy to have me shout him out on here. So
Saltwater Soul, okay.
Yeah, good stuff, man. They got shirts, hats. I like their hats.
I got a ton of their shirts.
Saltwater Soul.
They're good fitting. Well, they're good fitting too.
Yeah.
We got another one that was one of our buddies. They have Tejas Surf.
Tejas Surf is like that. That's another one.
Yeah, it's a good looking hat, man.
I like it a lot.
Well, we appreciate you getting here.
Yeah,
Grace,
sure.
thank you for telling us the
Shout
story
out to
about
Grace.
him being a turd. But he saw the light. Slid in the DMs again.
We're still a turd, but just a little less. Just a little less. We just got our first dog together.
Really?
You said you didn't need kids, man.
No, man, this is our baby. Her name is Lulu. She is a rat terrier Jack Russell mix.
Oh, that's cool.
So she's like slightly larger than a Chihuahua, but they kind of look similar. But she's a puppy, and she gives us hell every single day. But she's a good dog.
Well, let us know you want to start your own podcast, man.
Yeah. Sure.
I will.
We can help you out.
I will, man.
Today's the day.
We've learned a lot of stuff over the past year, so we can help you out.
I think I have a big enough audience to where I'm like, hey,
you got to capitalize on you got to stay relevant.
Yeah.
And you got to capitalize on things.
That's the hardest part since I've gotten eliminated from Idol, because I feel it. I'll feel like my TikToks. I haven't had a TikTok blown up since I posted about me getting eliminated.
Really?
So I posted about me getting eliminated. It has like over 1 million views. But I posted like 4 videos of me singing, and none of them will break 10,000.
Yeah, we got to get you to be the spokesperson of Mattress Firm. I'm going to figure that out.
Well, I could.
We'll start our own mattress company.
John Eck is the CEO, and if I messaged John Eck and I was like, "Can I be your salesperson?" he'd have no problem with that.
Well, the thing is we want to facilitate that,
Yeah.
just so we can say that we had a
Y'all
part
did
of
it,
your
yeah.
success.
Part of our petition.
And I'd
Yeah.
give that to you. I would give that to you
for
guys.
sure.
Hey, man.
It's my gift to you. That and a signed T-shirt.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
this will come out. This will come out soon, man. I'll let you know. We'll be blasting on social media.
Yeah, let me know so I can blast it too.
Do that.
Okay,
I'll tag your people, man. I'll tag Saltwater Soul and some other people on there too for you.
cool, man.
And The boutique again?
Yeah, Honeybee Boutique.
Honeybee.
Yeah.
I need to tell my wife. My wife loves boutiques.
So I'm not going to tell my wife.
Honeybee Boutique.
Based out of Santa Fe. They're in Santa Fe, right off of.
I've got some customers that live in
646.
Santa Fe, so like I said, I've been there. We play baseball at Runge Park too.
Yeah.
So.
I am pretty sure they've already been there because I remember them saying they went to a boutique in Santa Fe.
There's a
Yeah.
fuck ton of boutiques in Santa Fe.
You need to make a boutique.
I do.
Dude, we didn't.
Trey from the Fe Boutique. So I have a hat guy, and we're working on getting a hat to wear it like it's a selling point to people who are fans of mine, but also to people who don't even know me but want to know me. And so like Sling and Spring Mattress Company
Yeah.
would be like a good idea, or like
Yep.
Trey from the Fe Mattress Store.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're working on getting some more merch out too.
Well, let us know. We're gonna buy some merch so we can help
Okay.
support you, and we'll wear it on the pod,
Sure.
man.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Absolutely.
Anything else you want to close on?
That's what I'm working on. No, I think we're good, man. Tune in May 15th. I don't know if this is going to be cut before then.
No.
Okay. So my episode will air after.
Next week we have the jiu-jitsu, then you're the following week.
Okay. All right. Well, then, no. Other than that,
But
I think at that point, the idol winner will be find out. So congratulations to Ian Tongi for winning the show. That's a pretty...
you'll be 22 by then.
I'll be 22 by then. That's a pretty bold prediction, but it's not that bold. He's gonna win.
He should win.
He's gonna win. Yeah. Well, just like I said, his following, man. There's no way the Polynesians and Samoans are gonna be outvoted.
If he's been killing every week, it's just going to get bigger.
And he
He's that
kills
good.
it, dude.
Yeah.
I've seen everybody slip up except for Dongi.
Yeah.
He's perfect. But like you said, man, that's their culture, man. They attack everything.
They're going to ride behind him.
Even dinner. They attack everything with full speed ahead.
Oh, absolutely. Some of the best football players in the world are
Yeah,
Samoan.
yeah.
I mean, those guys.
You know,
I love college football, so Samoan.
I love college. I paid a lot of attention to college this year, more than I have any other year. That like got me super intrigued into the draft and stuff. So,
college almost ruins my life whenever it comes on.
well, what's your college team?
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State. That's who you root for.
That's them. But I bet on college sports, and I'm a fanatic.
So
I can talk about this for 4 hours.
That's another one of those things that like I'm afraid to get into because I'd be addicted to it, is sports betting. Just because I'm into sports so much. My problem is I'm too biased, and so I'd be stupid on betting.
Don't ever bet on the Cowboys.
Betting on the Cowboys every single week.
Don't
Can't
do
do
it.
that.
Don't do it.
NFL football is the hardest to bet on.
That's like,
anyway.
they did that like Fox Super 6 bet, where like it's free bets and you have a chance to win Terry Bradshaw's money. And like I remember voting for the Cowboys one year, like 3 weeks in a row, and they went like 0-3. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, I can't. Nope,
Don't do it.
not doing that.
That's funny, man. Well, thanks again, dude. This was
Thanks for
awesome.
having me.
We're gonna come see you live. I want to come see one of your live shows. Man.
Okay.
I've only seen you singing on
TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good live. Like I say,
I should have told you to bring your guitar and play a song for us.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
didn't put you on the spot, man.
I usually do too, but I'm loud when I sing. Like I disturb neighborhoods when I sing,
Love it.
and so
It's
like
not my neighborhood.
no, I tried to hold back on the singing, and I need like good acoustics in a room, or else my voice just falls flat.
Yeah.
And so
It's all good.
people think I'm a dickhead for not singing on the spot, but it's like you don't get it.
Yeah.
If I were to sing in this room right now, well, not this room, just for example, like some rooms I just don't sound good in.
Yeah.
Well, we'll come see you. 'cause,
But yeah, y'all come see me,
Yeah, we
man.
need to. I'm trying to. Yeah.
Come see me.
Well-
We put on a pretty good show, especially if you're a Chris Stapleton fan.
Yep.
You'll like our show.
Is there people that aren't Chris Stapleton fans?
No,
No,
there's no
yeah.
way. There's no way.
That's like saying I'm not a fan of Elton John.
What pisses me off, and it shouldn't, is people are like, I'd rather listen to this cover than Chris's, or like I sing the national anthem and everybody was like, Chris doesn't even hold a candle to you, man. And I'm like, y'all shut up. I was like,
hey, I love you, but Stapleton killed
yeah,
that.
dude, there's no way.
Yeah.
There is no way.
You need to get better friends.
Well, my friends don't tell me that, just my followers. My friends would never say something that nice. I don't think Grace would ever say nothing that nice. I love her looks when she looks at me when she's mad.
I felt that look.
Yeah. But no, dude.
Pure love.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah,
2 hour late for no dinner, love.
Yeah. No dinner, just drop you back off.
That's funny.
You hungry? Oh well.
Yeah.
Should have ate.
Get some popcorn, Chip.
Yeah. Well, hey, no, thanks for having me on, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It was
dude, this has
fun.
been awesome, man.
Appreciate it.
Hey, so you've officially been our longest podcast,
Cool.
but it's been it's been entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
I could talk for hours. man.
I didn't realize how much.
This is
till
good. This is good. Good experiment for somebody that wants to start up their own.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, man, we could give you some ins and outs. So
Cool.
We'll talk offline about it. But
Awesome.
Yeah, we appreciate it, dude.
Awesome, man.
All right.
Thanks.
Peace.